number 39. Hitting in the fifth position at third base, number 20, Craig Hopkins, number 20. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 13, Robert Antino, number 13. Hitting in the seventh position, second baseman, number 3, Nate Spears, number 3. Number 38.
This is Long Island Ducks baseball.
Justin Davies at the plate, the winning run at third. Crowd going nuts. Swung on, bouncing ball left side, off the mitt, up third baseman Brad Strauss. Here comes Willie Rodriguez. Justin Davies has done it again. The Ducks are one quack away from the championship.
Jason Johnson makes the catch. He makes the catch, and the Long Island Ducks have swept the Camden River Sharks. They are the 2004 Atlantic League champions.
Lions bunts up the third baseline. Esquivel charging in. They're not going to have a play, and the Ducks are the champions of the Atlantic League here in 2012. Going back is Adam Bailey. He settles under it. He makes the catch. Adam Bailey makes the catch, and for a second straight year, the Atlantic League trophy will reside on Long Island. The Ducks are the Atlantic League champions.
And now it's time for the Long Island Ducks North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital pregame show.
Live from Central Islip at the site of Bethpage Ballpark, you are listening to Long Island Ducks baseball, and tonight the Long Island Ducks take on the Somerset Patriots in Game 3 of a 3-game set. Hello Ducks fans, Chris Buckley here with you, joined alongside by Mr. David Weiss, and your Long Island Ducks coming into this series finale with their foes, the Somerset Patriots. Second half record of 8-11, 54-35 overall. The Somerset Patriots 13-7, 63-27 altogether in 2015. And David, the Ducks last night, an important win. It was a 4-2 final here at the Duck Pond, and a win that was really a momentum changer, I guess you could say, for the Long Island Ducks. And as of late, their hitting has sort of gone and dried up a bit. Not the type of bat production that we saw in the first half of the season, but last night a come-from-behind 4-2 victory, a lot similar to what we saw from this Ducks team in the first half of play in 2015.
That is a good point, Chris. The Ducks trailed 2-0 going into the bottom of the fifth last night. Looking to turn things around, they did. They got a ground rule 2-run double, and then followed by a Randy Ruiz homer that broke the tie later. The Ducks scoring 4 unanswered runs. And as you said, any turnaround has to have a starting point. And maybe last night was that starting point in the second half. The Ducks 8 up and 11 down. They won 5 of their first 8 coming out of the gate in the second half. But as we all know, if you follow the Long Island Ducks, success breeds transition. They have been cherry-picked into submission by major league teams and teams outside of the United States, losing players right and left thanks to the fact that they had such a wonderful first half with so many standout performances. So here in the second half, you have some new faces, some old faces, some new faces on some old faces.
Right.
Somewhere I think some had some work done. In any case, we've got a Ducks 2.0. It's more or less a reboot as they try to get their feet on the ground and maybe get something going, because at the moment, if the season ended today, the Ducks would not make the playoffs because you need a repeat champion in the Atlantic League for the Ducks to sneak in as a wild card after a brilliant first half in which they finished second to the juggernaut known as the Somerset Patriots. Ducks and Patriots, the two most successful franchises, no matter how you slice it, in the history of the Atlantic League. Always a good one when these two get together. We're expecting that tonight. You mentioned that the hitting kind of dried up recently, but nothing else has dried up here tonight. A 1-hour delayed start here tonight as we expect to start at 7:35. We had that thin line of heavy showers that moved on through, but the skies look like they're clearing out now. The rain has stopped. Grounds crew doing a great job. Looks like we will get underway at 7:35, 1 hour after we were supposed to.
Right now, Long Island 8-11, as we said, 5 games back of the Bridgeport Bluefish in the Liberty Division. The Somerset Patriots just a half game back of the Fish. And Bridgeport, a team that finished in last place in the first half of play this year, 26-44. You talk about a turnaround, 13-6 right now, and trying to maintain that half-game lead over the Long Island Ducks opponent this evening, the Somerset Patriots. We'll tell you how we got to that 4-2 final last night here at Bethpage Ballpark. And the trend of Long Island pitching, allowing a run in the first inning, continued on Wednesday. The starter for the Ducks last night, Ian Marshall, surrendering an RBI double to Michael Burgess, putting the Patriots up on top 1-0. That was in the first inning. The ball hit high in the air. Brian Sabatella getting the start in left field last night. His first start in left field all season for Kevin Byes' Long Island Ducks. Has primarily played in right field, but got the start in left yesterday, misjudged the ball, and it was officially ruled a hit. Yesterday was, again, as we said, Sabatella's first start in left field. So Somerset extends the lead to 2-0 in the third on Aaron Eggleston's RBI double, and that would make it 2-0, but they would not score again the rest of the contest. The Ducks began their comeback in the sixth. With the bases loaded, Blake Davis was the batter for the Long Island Ducks.
First pitch, taken in the air, left center field. Center fielder Ollie Linton going over at the wall. He won't get it. It bounces off the warning track and over the wall for a ground rule double. But Blake Davis has driven in 2, and he has tied this game at 2 in the bottom of the sixth.
So Blake Davis comes up absolutely clutch for the Long Island Ducks. The 2-run ground rule double to tie the game, and that made it a 2-2 game. So then Blake Davis comes up clutch. In the seventh, Randy Ruiz would be the batter, breaking the tie for the Long Island Ducks.
First pitch, taken in the air, left center field. Center fielder Ollie Linton going over at the wall. He won't get it. It bounces off the warning track and over the wall. Going back at the wall, at the track. That ball is gone! A solo homer to left center for Randy Ruiz. His 7th of the season, and it gives Long Island their first lead of the night. 3-2 here in the bottom of the 7th. He steps on third, gets the low 5 there from Kevin Byes, makes his way to the plate. An absolute bomb from Randy has Long Island on top.
So Randy Ruiz puts the Ducks ahead. We apologize for those slight technical difficulties. Randy now with 7 homers on the season for the Long Island Ducks, 32 RBIs, and then the Long Island Ducks would actually add an insurance run, a run-scoring wild pitch 1 inning later, and in the ninth, closer Ryan Kushmal would secure the W with his league-leading, now 25th save, goes back ahead in that category amongst the Atlantic League leaders. Offensively, Ducks putting 4 runs up, but breaking out for 14 hits as a team. Sabatella and Phelan Lentini making his return to the Long Island Ducks this week. He was here last year out of California. 3 hits apiece for Sabatella and Phelan Lentini. Cody Puckett and Mike Blank each with a pair of hits apiece as well. Every starter finishing with at least 1 hit, except for Delta Cleary Jr. Ian Marshall, the starter, took a no decision, allowed 2 runs. Only one of them was earned on 6 hits in 6 innings. He allowed 3 walks and struck out 3. Donnie Veal, former major leaguer, earning the win for the Ducks, pitching a scoreless 7th frame before Amalio Diaz came in as the setup man as usual with the 1-run lead, shut the door in the 8th, and Ryan Kushmal wraps things up in the 9th with that league-leading 25th save of the win. So once again, Long Island 8-11 in the second half of play, 54-35 overall. 13-7 are the Somerset Patriots, 63-27. In terms of the other division, the Freedom Division, right now it's Lancaster and York. Lancaster in first at 12-7. The York Revolution 11-8. So as David, you were discussing, the fact that Long Island is not in the playoffs right now, despite a historic franchise in terms of historic first half for the Long Island Ducks. They have not made the playoffs. Somerset with an Atlantic League record, 50 wins in the first half. And if the season ended right now, Lancaster or York were to come in first place and Bridgeport comes in first place, the Ducks would not be in first place. So what do you think is the key for the Ducks moving forward at this point right now?
Well, you have to depend on what you do yourself. You can't expect somebody else to do the work for you. Yes, the Ducks would like Somerset to possibly repeat. Ducks finished second with a great record, and combined they would sneak into the playoffs, or they would look for a repeat in the other division as well. But the Ducks just have to try to maintain what they did last night, build on that particular victory, and take it one game at a time. What looked so easy during most of that first half of the Long Island Ducks becomes a struggle now, as you've had so many big-name players, not the least of which their leader, Lou Ford, who has left. He may or may not return. You can't count on that. You have to play with the cards you are dealt. And right now, the Ducks don't really have what they did at the start of the season, but they are gritty, tenacious. They still have some dynamite starting pitching. They're great out of the bullpen. And if you put that together with a defense and some clutch hitting, you can put a streak together. All very true, all very well put. We'll step out, come back, take a look at the pitching preview for this evening's matchup, and we'll eventually get things started. The rain, again, has moved out of the area. The warning track around the entire field a little damp, but again, the grounds crew doing a nice job getting things ready. Don't go anywhere. Long Island Ducks baseball coming up.
Hi, this is manager Kevin Baez, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Ducks official YouTube channel, youtube.com/DucksBaseball.
North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital in Bayshore is the healthcare heart of our community. We provide outstanding healthcare right here at home with centers of excellence in cardiology, orthopedics, neurosciences, women's health services, and much more. Experience counts, and North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital has been around for nearly a century of care. For more information, please call 631-968-3000 or visit us on the web at www.nslij.com.
Can't get enough of the Long Island Ducks? Well, now you can get even more inside info on your favorite hometown team through Facebook and Twitter. The Ducks are constantly updating fans through social media with scores, transactions, ballpark promotions, and much more. You can even win great prizes. All you'll need to do is make a free account on Facebook and Twitter, and then visit us at facebook.com/LIDucks and twitter.com/LIDucks. Think you're Long Island's biggest Ducks fan? Get connected now.
Welcome back to Bethpage Ballpark. Chris Buckley and David Weiss here with you, getting you ready for Long Island Ducks baseball. Ducks and Somerset Patriots getting ready to start here at the Duck Pond. Again, about an hour rain delay here in the area. Central Islip, a lot of Long Island just getting pounded with rain. So again, that accounts for about the 60-minute delay here. But the managers exchanging lineup cards right now as we speak at home plate. The umpires surrounding them, so just about ready for first pitch. And David on the mound for Long Island this evening. It'll be the lefty Darren Downs, former major leaguer who comes in on the season 0-2, a 3.95 ERA. He's made 3 starts. He's pitched 13 2/3 innings, and he has allowed 6 runs, all earned on 10 hits, struck out 10, and walked 6. And Darren Downs, a guy who at times we've seen this year have a bit of trouble finding the strike zone, but overall an effective pitcher, has a very nice off-speed curveball, has actually faced Somerset right here at Bethpage Ballpark back on July 19th, and the Ducks did lose that game 2-1. Downs suffered the loss. He pitched 5 innings, 2 runs, they were both earned, 4 hits, and again, as we were saying, 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. He faced 21 batters, but 4 walks in 5 innings, not exactly the best stat, doesn't line up the stat sheet in that category. Maybe in a negative light, I guess you could say. But overall, I think the thing for Darren Downs is to come out here. Again, it's wet conditions in the outfield. It's not going to be easy for your outfielders. Again, Brian Sabatella will be out in left field again, playing a position he hasn't played a lot this year. So it's up to him to just try to make the best pitches he can. Make sure you don't put unnecessary guys on base. Don't get ahead in the count, and then eventually walk guys, because you never know what you're going to get in weather conditions like this.
Man, you hit the nail on the head there, Chris. He's not going to blow people away with a big fastball. He's going to keep Somerset off balance, and that's true with a lot of the Ducks pitching staff. You're not going to find the Nolan Ryans, and those guys are going to just blow people away with high heat. You're going to find guys who are pitch to contact but keep batters off balance, and the strikeouts do come from the change of speeds, and that's what we hope to see out of Darren Downs. And I think it's incumbent upon the Ducks and Darren Downs to try to get out to a lead here tonight and to keep Somerset at bay as long as possible. They don't have the easiest lineup to face, so the Ducks will be looking to break out on top, and they will have to do it against R.J. Seidel.
And R.J. Seidel taking the ball in the series finale for the Pats. Both of these teams, of course, this is a 3-game set. They have 1 win apiece. They're looking for the series win. And right now, overall on the year, the Ducks with the 1-game advantage in terms of the head-to-head matchup. 8 games to 7. They played 15 times, and they've actually played all-time 300 games exactly. Yesterday was the 300th all-time game between the Somerset Patriots and the Long Island Ducks. And it's funny because the Bridgeport Bluefish and Long Island Ducks just this past weekend played their 300th game all-time. So 2 long-time groups, three teams in the Atlantic League have been playing each other for a very long time since the beginning, all now playing 300 games against each other. As for the Long Island Ducks, and 301 tonight, and Somerset leading the series by just 2 games, 151 to 149. However, Long Island with the 6-game advantage here in Central Islip, 80 to 74 over the Pats. And R.J. Seidel comes in. He's pitched in 23 games for Somerset this year. However, he's only made 5 starts. He's allowed 14 runs, 13 earned on 45 hits in 39 innings of work. He's walked 9, struck out 39, and he has allowed at least 1 run in 5 of his last 6 outings. That includes starts and relief appearances. During that span, he's pitched a combined 12 innings, allowed 8 runs on 17 hits, a guy that has experience in the Brewers and Rockies organizations. He's reached the AAA level, and he actually spent time at AAA last year. So he comes in with some close to big league experience, but Darren Downs, a guy that has pitched for the Tigers, a couple other teams as well in the majors, so he might have a bit of an upper hand in terms of the experience, but I think what we're looking at right now is a decent pitching matchup, but who's going to be able to put the ball in play more consistently around, get it on, poke it through the holes into the outfield. Again, the weather conditions not going to be good, so it's just a matter of can you put the ball in play, put the bat on the ball. And for Long Island yesterday, 14 hits as a team. That certainly has not been the trend of late, but I think if they could do that once again against Dell, I think Long Island should be in good position to win this one. Again, this is still a very good lineup against you, and we've harped on the fact that they've lost guys, but like you said before at the end of the last point you made, they do still have guys that are very good. They have guys that are talented hitters, good offensively at the plate, and I think it's just about going out there and executing at this point.
You know, Dan Lyons, the best number 9 hitter you'll probably ever see, has been moved up in the lineup due to the changes and to
Brian Sabatella, the leadoff hitter, gets moved to 6th.
And look at what you now have at the top of the lineup. The best leadoff hitter anywhere last year, Phelan Lentini, can be a real key to this Long Island Ducks team in the second half offensively. I mean, there was nothing he couldn't do last year. The most eye-popping stat was 46 for 46 in stolen bases. He was never caught. He's an excellent base runner and admittedly not a blazing amount of speed.
Smart
He's
base
incredibly smart on the base paths. He can pick up the motions of the pitcher, know when to run. Situationally, he knows exactly when to take off. 3 hits last night. He's got that softball average since he's just rejoined the team at 556. That may not last, but his impact at the top of the lineup for the Long Island Ducks can be immeasurable. Again, we will, as he comes to the plate later on tonight, we'll run down some of those statistics.
All right, we'll quickly step out one more time. When we come back, the end of the national anthem most likely, and first pitch between the Long Island Ducks and Somerset Patriots. Ducks baseball coming your way in just a few minutes.
Hey fans, this is Bud Harrelson, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 103.9 LI News Radio.
North Shore LIJ, Southside Hospital in Bayshore, is the healthcare heart of our community. We provide outstanding healthcare right here at home with centers of excellence in cardiology, orthopedics, neurosciences, women's health services, and much more. Experience counts, and North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital has been around for nearly a century of care. For more information, please call 631-968-3000 or visit us on the web at www.nslij.com.
Few places on Earth offer the charm and excitement of Fire Island. At Fire Island Ferries, located conveniently at 99 Maple Avenue in Bayshore, they offer convenient travel to Fire Island 7 days a week. Fire Island is quickly becoming a top destination for families of all ages. Experience the informal, carefree communities, the dazzling night scene, enjoy fine dining, or climb to the top of one of the tallest lighthouses in the United States. But there's only one way to get there, by calling Fire Island Ferries at 631-665-3600 today. For fare and scheduling information, please visit fireislandferries.com.
our very own Ashley Bush with our national anthem as we get ready for first pitch finally between the Long Island Ducks and Somerset Patriots. Again on the mound for Long Island, Darren Downs comes in at 0-2 with a 3.95 ERA. RJ Seidel at 2-3 with a 3.00 ERA for the Somerset Patriots, the road team this evening. The third and final game of a 3-game set between the Flock and Pats, and definitely has a lot of meaning in terms of the Liberty Division standings. Chris Buckley and David Weiss here with you. I'm Chris Buckley, and for now I will turn for the play-by-play duties. I will turn it over to my partner, Mr. David Weiss. David.
Thank you very much, Chris Buckley. And I turn it right back to Chris Buckley to take a look at tonight's starting lineup.
Okay, first for the visiting Somerset Patriots, leading off number 24, Thomas Neal. He's the designated hitter this evening. Number 14, Vinny Zerillo playing in left field, hitting second. David Vidal is the 3-hitter. Number 8 playing at first base. Number 39, Michael Burgess, a solo shot last night or in the series, and right field hitting cleanup. Number 20, Greg Hopkins playing third base and hitting fifth. Number 13, Robert Andino plays shortstop and hits sixth. Number 3, Nate Spears plays at second and hits seventh. Number 6, Johnny Tucker in center field hitting eighth. And rounding out the starting 9 for Brett Jody's Somerset Patriots, number 21, the catcher, Adam Donahue. Defensively for the Long Island Ducks, managed by Kevin Baez. Around the horn from third to first, Cody Puckett at third. Dan Lyons is the shortstop, Blake Davis at second. Randy Ruiz out in the field this evening. Doing the catching is Dan Corey with Darren Downs, the southpaw starter. Left-right in the outfield, Brian Sabatella out in left field. Delta Cleary Jr., number 5, is in center. And rounding out the 9 in the field for Kevin Baez is Phelan Lentini, number 22, out in right field.
So just about start for baseball. Isn't it ironic, indeed, that near the midpoint of summer, on the 30th of July, we'd be talking about a delayed opening for the Long Island Ducks tonight, as if it was the middle of the winter, and a school system has decided to bring everybody in an hour later than usual. It was a thunderstorm that moved through. Some very impressive bolts of lightning were seen in the western sky. Nothing struck the stadium. Everybody's safe and sound here. And on a thirsty Thursday night at the ballpark, where everybody, VIP passes or not, was allowed up in the club, Ducks Club restaurant upstairs. It was packed up there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Ooh, and the food, terrific. I sampled some appetizers. When people weren't looking, I just kind of reached in. Thomas Neal, the DH, leading off, and the first pitch is outside for a ball. 7:41 the start time. I'd say it's about 73 degrees. We'll see in a moment. Next pitch, fouled out of play. Bob, a tone, please.
The official Suffolk Transportation Services temperature of the ball game, 75 degrees.
All right, it's off by 2 degrees.
So close.
All right. 75 degrees, 7:41 start time. We've got our numbers, and it's 1-1 to Thomas Neal at the plate, leading off against Darren Downs, pitching from the stretch. He's got that big and he misses upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. On the season for Neal, he's at .284, 4 homers, 38 RBIs, 3 steals and 6 attempts. Has some speed. Deep in the box on the right side. And the southpaw, Downs, missing outside. Now 3 balls and a strike. Chris Buckley talked in our pregame show about Darren Downs at times can have a little trouble finding the plate and is behind here on the leadoff batter, Thomas Neal. One thing you don't want to do in the top of the first is issue a free pass to the leadoff man. 3-1 pitch on the way, and that's outside corner for a strike. 3-2, the count is full. Umpires tonight. Behind plate, Frank Urillo, Dave Speranza at first base, John Grasso at third. Coming to the set position again is Downs, and the payoff pitch as we have a delay. Thomas Neal stepping out. Just underway, Bethpage Ballpark. Happy you could join us. Payoff pitch is on the way, and this one's hit in the air. It is playable to right field for the Ducks. Phelan Lentini lets it come down and makes the catch. Had to take a little hop, skip, and a jump to get to it, but did grab it.
Yeah, the wind is still blowing out there. Excuse me, David. You can see the flags out in right field, and Lentini at the last moment actually had to, as you said, a hop, skip, and a jump. Had to take a few quick steps in toward the infield and really didn't make that catch in front of his face or, on top of his head. Had to reach down toward his waist and really just push at the ball to get it to go in the glove. Not an easy catch the first out of the game.
But Lentini did make it. It's 1 down, nobody on. Vinny Zerillo, left fielder for the Somerset Patriots, now stands in. And time is called momentarily to take care of something around the first base bag. So it's the Ducks and Somerset Patriots. Ducks in 3rd place in the Liberty Division with a record of 8-11. Somerset Patriots in second place at 13 up and 7 down, and the surprising Bridgeport Bluefish leading the way thus far have won 13 of their first 19 out of the gate in the second half. Lead Somerset by a half game, and the Ducks 5 games back. First pitch of the lefty-lefty matchup here to Vinny Zerillo is in there for a strike. Good pop on that fastball, 0-1. Zerillo at .225 on the season. Has not hit a home run. Has knocked in 4. Wide open stance from the left side. Downs kicks and deals, and it's fouled over our heads to the left. And apparently a nice catch made on a rebound. I've got a lot of friends here tonight, Chris Buckley, and I told them, most of them did come with mitts. I say,
be ready.
I don't care if you're right behind the screen, behind home plate, on the rebound, ricochets, pinballs. You're always in play.
Always here at the Duck Pond.
0-2 the count. And the pitch to Zerillo. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, good night on 3 pitches. First strikeout for Darren Downs on 3 very good fastballs. 2 down.
Downs is season high. And again, it's only 3 starts, so we have a very small sample of Downs in a Ducks uniform. He struck out 4 in his second start against the Somerset Patriots right here. Again, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, July 19th was that game. The Ducks lost 2-1.
So batting third for Somerset with 2 out, nobody on. Top of the first, David Vidal, the first baseman for the Patriots. Vidal was 1 for 4 last night, and the Ducks 4-2 win over Somerset here at the Pond. First pitch just missing outside, off-speed pitch from Darren Downs. 1 ball, no strikes. Right fielder Michael Burgess waiting on deck. Lights are on. Clouds still in the sky, but we see some breaks to the west, so we apparently are all done with the rain activity and the precipitation. Good fastball inside, corner for a strike, 1-1. To Vidal.
I have to say, the field looks great, doesn't it, David?
Best groundskeeping crew in all of baseball, major or minor leagues. The course always in terrific shape, drains well, gets covered, of course, very quickly. And you would not have known it rained except for the dirt areas in front of the dugouts.
Which is so hard to really maintain it and to fix as quickly as possible right before the start of a game when the tarp comes right off, like, you know, as it did here this evening.
But I don't see any standing water at all on the warning tracks. That's been taken care of, so field in great shape, all things considered. 2-1 as the pitch misses from Downs to David Vidal. So the Ducks looking to take 2 out of 3 here from Somerset. Ducks lead the season series against the Patriots, 8-7. Always nail biters, these two, tooth and nail. 2-1 pitch is inside. It's a good fastball, just missed inside. 3 balls and a strike to David Vidal.
Vidal 1 for 4 yesterday against the Ducks. Ian Marshall getting that no decision in the eventual win. He's 1 for 8 in the series, so it was 1 hit of the 2 games so far coming yesterday.
3-1 pitch on the way is just outside, nearly nipped the corner. Missed it by a fraction of an inch. Vidal with the first walk of the game, first base runner for Somerset as he is aboard with 2 down. Vidal came into the game 273, a couple of homers, 36 RBIs. And in terms of stolen bases, he hasn't attempted one, he doesn't have one. But it brings up the dangerous Michael Burgess, the cleanup hitter for the Somerset Patriots. Burgess last night hit a home run in the loss to the Ducks. Stands from the left side, and the southpaw Downs gets a strike on the outside corner. Cutting diagonally across the plate with a fastball, 0-1. Burgess at 241. 6 homers. Number 6 came last night, as we mentioned. He has knocked in 27. Deep in the box in a slightly closed stance. Being shaded around to pull on the infield and the outfield as well. Next pitch, fastball missing, 1-1.
And Burgess, 4 of those 6 home runs that you just mentioned, David, coming against the Long Island Ducks, as a matter of fact. 11 of his 26 RBIs against Long Island as well. So really just a Duck killer and undoubtedly the hardest swing in the entire Atlantic League.
He does swing very hard. Does not get cheated with his cuts, as the saying goes. It's 2 balls and a strike as Downs misses outside.
Not in the slightest. When he hits the ball right in the middle of the sweet spot, you know that it's going to be trouble if you're the pitcher of the opposing team that he's facing.
Doesn't so much his swing, he lashes at the ball.
He really does. He swings with every ounce of power he has in his body goes into swinging that bat.
2-1 the count to Burgess. But instead of coming to the plate, Downs will toss it over to first base to Randy Ruiz to keep David Vidal close. Although, as we mentioned, Vidal Does not have a steal this year and has not attempted a steal. So back to the batter at hand at home plate, Michael Burgess. Vidal dancing off first base to try to distract Downs, and a swing and a miss. Another one of those lash cuts from Burgess, and he missed it. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Burgess doesn't shake the bat violently as Gary Sheffield did when he played, but he swings like Sheffield used to swing.
Very good comparison, and I didn't even really think of that. And you're right, he does not wiggle the bat, so to speak, does not rotate the bat in any sort of motion. He just sits calmly and waits for the pitch and then just unloads.
Yeah, he does. Puts his weight behind it. 2-2 pitch on the way, and he takes a big cut and hits it a long way foul down the left field line. It makes it to the picnic area, bouncing around down there. So he got a lot out of that foul ball going the other way on a fastball from Darren Downs. The count even at 2-2 with 2 down, 1 on. David Vidal walked moments ago.
Downs 30 years old, living in Lake Worth, Florida. 6'3", 200 pounds, 3 years of big league experience.
Next pitch is ripped. Broken bat, however, to right field. Phelan Lentini hardly had to move. So Burgess swinging hard, but he broke the bat in the process and still got a lot out of it. A line drive, a loud one to right, caught by Lentini. In the inning for the Somerset Patriots, no runs, no hits. With a walk, a man left. We go to the bottom of the first here at Bethpage Ballpark. The score, Somerset 0, Ducks coming up.
Hey fans, this is Marty Jansen, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
Beautify your patio, walkway, driveway, or pool surround with Nicoloc paving stones and walls. Nicoloc specially formulated paver shield offers extra surface wear protection and color enhancement throughout the thickness of the paver. Paver shield guarantees that your pavers will look great for years to come. Bring home the elegance with Nicoloc. Visit the Nicoloc Design Center, Sunrise Highway, Lindenhurst, or Nicoloc.com.
Let Nicoloc pavers pave your way.
Enjoy the ultimate VIP fan experience at Bethpage Ballpark this season by taking in a Ducks game from the brand new Trout Town Fan Can. Presented by Roscoe Beer Company, the Fan Can is available for rental at all Ducks home games. It features 12 Dream Seat theater-style padded seats, beverage holders, an air-conditioned atmosphere, and an incredible view of the game. Packages are now available with food and beverage included. To reserve your Fan Can outing today, call the Ducks Group Sales Department at 631-940-3825. The Trout Town Fan Can at Bethpage Ballpark. Your VIP experience has arrived.
The Ducks and Municipal Credit Union have teamed up this season to present the Walk with a Purpose promotion. Every time a Long Island Ducks player walks, Municipal Credit Union will make a donation to the Quacker Jack Foundation, serving members since 1916.
David Wise, Chris Buckley, Bethpage Ballpark, Ducks and Somerset Patriots. Ducks, bottom of the first. We'll be sending up Phelan Lentini, followed by Dan Lyons and Delta Cleary Jr., 1, 2, 3 in the order. Rest of the Ducks lineup, Randy Ruiz in the cleanup spot, third baseman Cody Puckett batting fifth, Brian Sabatella sixth, Steve McQuail, the DH, at number 7, Dan Curry, the catcher, is batting eighth, and ninth in the order, Blake Davis, second base for the Long Island Ducks. And here is the aforementioned Phelan Lentini, rejoining the Ducks after spending a full season here last year with eye-popping numbers in virtually every offensive category. He takes a strike off-speed pitch from R.J. Seidel. No balls and a strike to Lentini. He had 3 hits last night as he takes outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 3 for 5 last night in the Ducks' 4-2 win over the righty-righty matchup here. 1-1 pitch on the way, and that nips the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes with an off-speed pitch. Last season, Phelan Lentini ranked second in hits in the Atlantic League with 172, third in runs with 96, fourth in doubles with 36. Overall, 290, 6 homers, 63 RBIs. We mentioned it before. It's worth mentioning again and again. In 46 attempts. 2-2 count to Lentini, the right fielder at the plate. Pitch from Seidel is ripped. Left field. It is over the head of Vinny Zerillo and up against the wall. Lentini with his speed will cruise into second base with a stand-up double. Phelan Lentini mashing it to left field, and he's in scoring position, leading off in the bottom of the first for the Ducks.
I mean, what else can you ask for from a guy coming back in just 3 games? He's 6 for 10. He's hitting .600 in his first 10 at-bats. Back with the Long Island Ducks here through now, I guess, two full games and a half an inning so far here at the Duck Pond. And he has just done nothing but hit the baseball.
Chris, he's not just back. He's back with a vengeance.
He really is.
Dan Lyons at the plate. Very few players in the Atlantic League or anywhere else handle a bat better than Dan Lyons. Third baseman Greg Hopkins playing up, and Lyons is looking to bunt. No balls and a strike. Of course, the Ducks' second championship was won on a suicide sacrifice bunt by Dan Lyons right here at Bethpage Ballpark, as so many of us will remember. Lyons batting from the right side against the righty Seidel. Lantini takes his lead off second base. Nobody out. 0-1 count to Lyons. He takes an off-speed pitch, slider outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dan, who on the season's at .299, having one of his best seasons at the plate in his Ducks career. 6 homers, 42 RBIs. Yes, he's got power as well. Plays a very solid shortstop. One of the leaders on this Ducks team. 1-1 pitch on the way, lifted in the air, center field. Going back is Johnny Tucker. Camping under it, makes the catch. Lantini is going to tag. Here comes the throw on a fly, but it's offline. Lantini cruises into third base standing, tagging up on the deep fly ball to right center off the bat of Dan Lyons. So the Ducks 90 feet away from breaking the ice here at Bethpage Ballpark. Lantini at third with just 1 down.
And up steps Delta Cleary Jr., who was over 3 with a sacrifice yesterday. 2 for 7 in the series overall, has stolen a base as well last series against the Bridgeport Bluefish, who again will come to the Duck Pond tomorrow for to put it mildly, crucial 4-game set for both teams. 3 for 11 with an RBI at the ballpark at Harbor Yard.
So Delta at the plate, batting from the left side against the righty Seidel. Infield is playing back, and there's a ground ball to second base. And Nate Spears with a thought of coming home, instead tosses out for the second out, but on the ground out from Delta Cleary Jr., Phelan Lantini scores the first run of the game. The Ducks lead it 1-0.
That's just getting the job done. Delta Cleary Jr. rolls it over. If there was no one on third base, or even someone with less speed than Phelan Lantini, that might have been a bit more trouble for the Long Island Ducks, but it works out in their favor. Lantini immediately taking off, reading the ball off the bat very cleanly, and there was no chance for Nate Spears to even come home and get Lantini, who possesses a ton of speed.
So it'll be Randy Ruiz, cleanup man for the Long Island Ducks. He homered last night in the 4-2 win. In fact, the game was tied at 2, and Randy Ruiz snapped that tie with a homer. In the bottom of inning number 6, Ducks went on to win 4-2. 1-0 pitch on the way, curveball up high. 2 balls and no strikes to Randy Ruiz on the season at .331, 7 homers and 32 RBI. Slightly open stance from the right side. The righty Seidel kicks and deals. The 2-0 is on the way, splits the plate in half. 2 balls and a strike to Randy with Cody Puckett waiting on deck. Ducks have broken out on top here at Bethpage Ballpark. 1-0 on the ground out from Delta Cleary Jr. Driving in Phelan Lantini. Big swing from Ruiz. Home run cut. Fouls it over everything to the right. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 down. Nobody on.
Last night when Randy hit that solo homer, the go-ahead homer, there was a bit of a wind going out to left center field. Maybe not quite as much today.
And this one's driven right back up the middle. Maybe to the left side of the second base bag as we see it from our vantage point. Randy ripping it to center. So a 2-out single, and Randy is aboard. Cody Puckett coming up.
Ruiz making his 41st start since rejoining the Ducks. So Lantini rejoins the Ducks. Randy Ruiz, over a month ago now, rejoining the Ducks as well. So a couple guys coming back after being here last year. And Randy just a guy that takes over that hitting coach role. Is just such a great presence in the clubhouse as well as in the lineup. Can't understate that nearly enough. Again, that go-ahead homer last night, and he's done that countless times so far since coming back and really helping this team win some ball games.
Curveball inside to Cody Puckett. 1 ball and no strikes. Cody last night was 2 for 4 with a run scored. On the season at .272, 6 homers, 31 RBI. Big swing and a ground ball foul left side. Count now even to Cody Puckett at 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 down. The Ducks leading 1-0, bottom of the first. Glad you're joining us. Little late, but we're here. Game delayed 1 hour by those strong storms, downpours, thunderstorms moving across, cutting across Long Island. From west to east, the city got hit. City Field was affected with the Mets game. Nassau County then, we got it here in Suffolk. But we're okay now. 1-1 pitch. Fastball hitting the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cody Puckett.
Dare I say there's maybe a hint of sun coming through the clouds on the left side over here, maybe.
Yeah, getting a little bit of a sunset to the west. To the east, it still looks
very
a bit dark.
Moving out of the region, I suppose.
And no more rain. We're done with it. 1-2 pitch on the way to Cody. And it gets away from the catcher, Adam Donahue. And scooting to second base is Randy Ruiz. That will probably go down as a pass ball. So Ruiz in scoring position now with 2 down.
We'll see what the official ruling is. That could go either way. I'm not really sure what that's going to be called. My initial reaction was a wild pitch, but we'll just wait to see what the actual call is. But either way, Randy takes advantage.
It was an off-speed pitch, and Donahue behind the plate looks like he got crossed up.
Right.
In any case, 2-2 the count to Cody Puckett. Runner on second with 2 down. And Cody, a big hack, fouled back to our right. Makes it all the way to the concessions, I believe. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cody Puckett.
Can't talk enough, really, about Cody Puckett's defense either. And I think that's part of his game that really goes under the radar a bit because he's a guy that does have some pop, drives in runs, and scores a lot of runs as well. But he is fantastic over at third base. He really is.
Next pitch, hard slider wide of the plate. And the count now full of 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 down. You're absolutely right. He makes all the plays he's supposed to make and then some.
Right. There have just been numerous plays this year where you see hard hit balls, and that's why they call it the hot corner, down the left field line at third base, and he just makes it look easy.
He does. With little reaction time. Next pitch, Cody. Big swing, fouls it again out of play to the right, and the count remains full. At 3-2. Phelan Lentini led off the bottom of the first here for the Ducks with a hard double, 1 bounce against the wall to left. He tagged on Dan Lyons, fly out to right center to get to third, and scored on Delta Cleary Jr.'s ground out to second. Randy Ruiz singling up the middle, and that brings us to where we are right now. Puckett at the plate, Ruiz at second, off the pass ball, and the 3-2 pitch is downstairs. Cody Puckett with a walk, and that's our first Municipal Credit Union walk with a purpose. Every time a Ducks batter walks, the Quackerjack Foundation wins. Runners on first and second now with 2 down.
And Brian Sabatella, it's weird to say this, the left fielder steps in, hitting from the right side and getting moved down to that 6th spot. And really just a move, I think, yesterday where Kevin Byers was just trying to do something to shake up the offense a bit, which he's been doing the last couple days, which was a necessary move, I would say, but it definitely worked yesterday, and Brian with 3 hits.
Sabatella holds the bat high at the plate from the right side, takes inside, but it nipped the inside corner, according to home plate umpire Frank Urilli. And it's no balls and a strike to Brian Sabatella. The native Long Islander at 288. A homer, has knocked in 33. Deep in the box from the right side. Coming set Seidel, the pitch on the way, just missing the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 down, 2 on. Ducks already leading 1-0. Looking for more. Suffice to say, you can never really have enough runs in the Atlantic League, especially against a team as talented as the Somerset Patriots. Coming set, Seidel checks both runners. 1-1 pitch on the way, off-speed pitch, and Sabatella had a good swing, just missed it, fouling it. Back over the netting to our right. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Sabatella leading the Atlantic League in runs scored, 59 on the season, so just 1 shy of that elusive number 60. And Aaron Eggleston of the Somerset Patriots, who has been trouble for the Ducks all season long, in second place with 51.
Next pitch to Bryan, inside corner, missing fastball. And the count now even up at 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 down, 2 on. And the Ducks have 2 hits. The deuces would really be wild, except for the fact we're in the bottom of the first, but close enough. Coming set, Seidel. Sabatella stands in. Runners take their leads, the 2-2, and it was an off-speed pitch fouled back into the mitt of catcher Adam Donahue, and Sabatella strikes out swinging, and the Ducks are retired. However, the Ducks do score first. Double by Lentini, and a ground out by Delta Cleary Jr. There was another hit by Randy Ruiz. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 left. At the end of 1 here at Bethpage Ballpark, the score. The Ducks 1, the Patriots nothing.
Hey fans, this is right-handed pitcher John Brownell, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Start by attending a free MCU home buying seminar. Then speak with one of our loan specialists who will guide you through the loan process. With an affordable mortgage from Municipal Credit Union, Home Sweet Home will be a little sweeter. Call 212-238-3521 or visit nymcu.org to apply for your mortgage today. Municipal Credit Union. Strong, trusted, growing. Municipal Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender.
M&V Limousines is the official bus company of the Long Island Ducks. Family owned and operated, they've been in the business for over 23 years. M&V Limousines offers coach buses with Wi-Fi and restrooms, party buses, exotic limousines, and so much more. Whether you're looking for transportation for weddings, proms, corporate outings, or long-distance trips, they've got the right vehicle for you. Visit their showroom in Comac or check them out online at mvlimo.com. M&V Limousines, the official bus company of the Long Island Ducks.
The Ducks Health Report is brought to you by Island Shore Physical Therapy, the official therapists of the Long Island Ducks. Right now, outfielder Eric Komatsu still dealing with that elbow injury. And catcher Jose Morales, of course, is on the disabled list with that hamstring injury. No timetable for his return.
So for the Somerset Patriots here in the top of inning number 2 at Bethpage Ballpark, it'll be the numbers 5, 6, and 7 players in the order. Greg Hopkins, Robert Andino, and Nate Spears to face Darren Downs, the lefty, for the Long Island Ducks. Ducks leading at 1-0. Top of inning 2. First pitch off speed up high to Greg Hopkins. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Hopkins at 261. Leading the Somerset Patriots in homers with 8. Has knocked in 35. He is second on the team. I'll make that third in terms of RBI. And a big home run cut and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike to Greg Hopkins. Setting the Ducks defensively quickly for you. Randy Ruiz at first, Blake Davis at second, Dan Lyons the shortstop, Cody Puckett the hot corner at third, Brian Sabatella in left, Delta Cleary Jr. in center, Phelan Lentini around and right, Dan Curry behind the plate, Darren Downs on the mound, and the lefty missing inside. Now 3 balls and 1 strike. Check that, 2-1 to Greg Hopkins.
And you mentioned a home run cut from Greg Hopkins. Well, he's got 8 on the season. He leads the Somerset Patriots. John Griffin leads the Long Island Ducks with 4 more than that, however, 12. A bunch of guys tied with 12 for the Atlantic League lead.
And the next pitch is downstairs. Now 3-1 to Greg Hopkins. As you check the home run leaders in the Atlantic League, there's a tie for first with just 12. That is not a really hefty total considering where we are in this season. It has not been a big home run year for any team, really. And Greg Hopkins sending it in the air to right field. Phelan Lentini over to his right, makes the catch. 1 down.
And you're right, that is not a big number. And again, 12 homers in a season, in the grand scheme of things, for pretty much any position is nothing to go home and cry about. But at the same time, you're right, that is not a big number. And there are a lot of guys in this league, a lot of players, that you would expect to have more home runs than that by now. And it's interesting that it's only 12, and the guys that are on that list, Brian Cavazos Galvez, Kevin Rivers from the Lancaster Barnstormers, both of those players, those are guys with some tremendous power that you'd think maybe would have more, especially at a stadium like Clipper Magazine Stadium in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, the short porch in right field. You'd think they'd have a lot more.
Yeah, it's a good point. And, you know, Chris, any of those guys can go on a tear, and you
right.
know, they can hit homers in bunches. A lot of those guys are streaky, so long way to go. Robert Andino at the plate, the shortstop for Somerset. Count is 1-0. Seidel pitching from the stretch, although no one's on. Gets the outside corner with an off-speed pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike to Andino at 261. That's hit 3 homers, knocked in 34. Batting from the right against the lefty, Darren Downs. Somerset has had only 1 base runner thus far. Downs issuing a walk in the first inning to David Vidal. He has not given up a hit as yet. Next pitch on the way. Broken bat. Left field. Brian Sabatella racing over and makes the catch for the second out. So 2 up, 2 fly balls, 2 down here for the Patriots in the top of the second.
Second time that we've seen a Patriots batter hit a ball off the end of the bat to the outfield. The other one was from Michael Burgess to Phelan Lentini in right field. This time we saw Robert Andino hit one just now to Sabatella that we thought, by the sound of it, was going to go further, but It actually went off the end of the bat, and you can tell just by the trajectory of the ball, the way it came down, to the fielder's gloves that it actually wasn't going to go as far as we initially thought.
Yeah, from the sound of it, it was either end of the bat, a broken bat, or both.
And it's hard to tell if it's the batters themselves or if it's what Downs is doing with his pitches.
Of course, Downs trying to keep the Somerset Patriots off balance. So far, he's been able to do that, but it's still early. No balls and a strike to Nate Spears at the plate at 272, a homer, 16 RBIs for the second baseman for the Somerset Patriots. Slightly open stance from the left side. Lefty-lefty matchup here. As Downs comes set, and the 0-1 is hit a mile in the air. And it's going to be just in front of us and bounces back down toward the netting. There it is. Somebody in the second row behind the net came up with the deflection, the rebound of that baseball, and she caught it on the bounce. Nice play.
Bare-handed, one-handed. Very nice play. Second row, right behind home plate.
President and GM Mike Pfaff running down with the contract, trying to sign her up. Count is 0-2 to Nate Spears at the plate. As Downs comes set, next pitch on the way. Call strike 3 outside corner. Beautiful pitch. Spears stood there like a statue. Second strikeout. This one looking for Darren Downs. So in the inning, 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. We go to the bottom of the second at Bethpage Ballpark. The score remains the Ducks 1, the Pats nothing.
Hey fans, this is shortstop Dan Lyons, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
The results are in. Thousands of PSEG Long Island customers participated in our energy efficiency programs, saving nearly $35 million. Being energy efficient helps our environment too. Together, we've eliminated 21,000 cars worth of emissions in 2014. Thank you, Long Island. We're all making a difference. Discover how we're improving every day to bring you better service at www.psegliny.com/efficiency.
Have your birthday at the ballpark this season and celebrate with the flock. Kona Ice birthday party packages with the Long Island Ducks are now available. Each package includes 10 box seats, a commemorative birthday t-shirt and autographed baseball, a pizza and Kona Ice party in the Hebrew National Picnic area, and so much more. Best of all, the birthday child will stand on the dugout while the entire crowd sings happy birthday. Reserve your party today by calling the group sales department at 631-940-3825. Kona Ice birthday parties with the Long Island Ducks, a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
There's no better time than now to sign up the Young Ducks fan in your life for the Bethpage Federal Credit Union Ducks Kids Club. Children 14 and under will receive exciting gifts, discounts on merchandise, and unique experiences that only come with being a member. Sign up today by visiting www.liducks.com or by calling 631-940-3825.
So for the Long Island Ducks against the Somerset Patriots in the bottom of inning number 2, it'll be the bottom third of the order for the Ducks. McQuail, Curry, and Blake Davis to face R.J. Seidel. And McQuail takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. What a great impact Steve McQuail has had on the Long Island Ducks since joining. Started hot, has tailed off a bit, but still showing plenty of power with 5 homers, 7 RBIs. The average now down below 200, but everyone who knows Steve knows that's only temporary. The DH tonight for the Ducks. The count is 1-1. The pitch to McQuail, missing, low and away. 2 balls and a strike to Steve McQuail, the native of Wantagh, joining the flock after playing for 3 other teams this season. Started in the Diamondbacks organization. Moved to a couple of other places before joining the Long Island Ducks with family and friends in attendance for every home game he plays in. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Steve McQuail. Seidel kicks and deals, and that one fisted foul back to the netting. Boy, he was jammed. And McQuail, who is extremely strong, used all of that strength just to stay alive and foul it straight back.
When he hits home runs, it's hard to tell where it's actually going to land. I mean, it just goes and goes and goes.
Yeah,
and the wind is blowing out to right field now here at Bethpage Ballpark, so maybe some opposite field power.
As Seidel misses just outside with the fastball. Count now full on Steve McQuail.
Actually, both guys right now, McQuail at the plate and Dan Corey on deck, the catcher, with some big, big bats in their hands.
3-2 pitch is outside. So Steve McQuail. Second walk issued by R.J. Seidel. Another Municipal Credit Union walk with a purpose. Every time a Ducks batter walks, the Quackerjack Foundation wins. Coming into the game, Seidel had 39 strikeouts in 39 innings and only 9 walks. So control has always been a part of his game, but he's already walked 2 here in an inning plus at Bethpage Ballpark. And here comes the aforementioned Dan Curry, catching tonight for the Long Island Ducks. Resident of Arizona, he's used to the heat, but a dry heat, of course. Curry holding that back, wiggling it, and takes inside. 1 ball and no strikes. On the season, Curry's at .286. A homer, an RBI, playing in his just 3rd game for the Ducks. He is 2 for his first 7. Stands up on the plate from the right side, and he takes another strike inside corner. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Dan Curry.
And David, let's pause 5 seconds for station identification.
Curry at the plate, 1-1 count. McQuail is on by virtue of a walk as Curry takes inside. 2 balls and a strike. Now, for a big guy, McQuail does have speed, but has not attempted a steal yet in his Long Island Ducks career, playing in his 13th game. We'll see what happens here. He's being held on by first baseman David Vidal. Curry at the plate, and the 2-1 on the way from Seidel, way outside. 3 balls and a strike. So R.J. Seidel in danger of getting into a real mess here in the bottom of the second. Ducks already lead 1-0. McQuail with a good eye at the plate, worked his way on with a leadoff walk, and the count now 3-1 on Dan Curry. Seidel's 3-1 is downstairs. Taking off with the pitch, by the way, was Steve McQuail, but it doesn't matter. 2 consecutive walks to open up the bottom of the second for the Long Island Ducks, and another Municipal Credit Union walk with a purpose. Every time a Ducks batter walks, the Quackerjack Foundation wins. 2 on, nobody out.
So 3 walks for Long Island in the game so far, coming off in which they did not walk in Bridgeport. They did not walk once, and they come here and walk 3 times in the first 2 innings in Game 3 of 3, the series finale against the Somerset Patriots.
So for the Ducks, trying to build on this 1-0 lead early here on a Thursday night, the 30th of July. We got a meeting on the mound. A little pep talk for R.J. Seidel. Meeting has been broken up, and it'll be the number 9 man in the order, Blake Davis, coming up. Isn't it incredible that the traditional midpoint of summer, which would be July 31st, August 1st, we're just about there. Where did this summer go?
Right. Yeah, I don't even think, I feel like there hasn't even been a summer. It just has gone so quickly. It's just incredible. I mean, the heat has been here for a couple weeks now. It's been pretty hot.
And now that we got the heat wave to deal with,
right,
with temperatures, the heat index pushing up to 100.
Slowly but surely making its way higher and higher on the thermometer here on Long Island the last couple weeks.
And looking to bunt to move the runners up is Blake Davis as he yanks his bat away on an inside fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Davis at .227, no homers, 8 RBIs. Second baseman for the Ducks. Now first baseman David Vidal comes in on the grass, as does third baseman Greg Hopkins. You would expect Blake Davis to try to bunt here again. Nope, he's swinging away, and there's a ground ball to second, could be 2. Spears over to Andino for 1. Back to first to Vidal, double play. So Davis looking to bunt the runners up on the first pitch he faced. And then skipper Kevin Baez taking the bunt off. Blake swings hard, grounds it to second. 4-6-3, double play. Moving over to third is Steve McQuail, but now 2 down.
And it brings up Lentini, who, as we mentioned, hitting .600, 6 for 10 in his first 10 at-bats back with Long Island over the last 3 days. Started the series here 2 days ago and has played every inning since. And really just a catalyst in the lineup, and has shown that so far through 2 games, and again here in game number 3.
I'm not sure if you'd want anybody else up at the plate in this situation at this moment than Phelan Lentini, who takes inside 1-0. Lentini with that double 1-hop against the left field wall in the first inning. Eventually came around to score on a ground out from Delta Cleary Jr. So he is 1 for 1 with a run scored and another extra base hit. Righty-righty matchup here. Seidel comes set. 1-0 pitch on the way. Big chopper left side. Going over to get it was Kevin Baez, and it nicked off his right hand, and he's rubbing it. Kevin needs a mitt over there, I'm telling you. Kevin with sure hands as the shortstop years ago for the New York Mets and for the Long Island Ducks, for that matter. Member of the 2004 Atlantic League Championship team, the first title for the Ducks 11 years ago. 1-1 pitch, outside, 2 balls and a strike. To Phelan Lentini, Dan Lyons is waiting on deck.
Sabatella and Lentini each with 3 hits last night. Sabatella's 6th 3-hit game of the year, and Lentini back-to-back multi-hit games so far as a Duck in the second go-around.
2-1 pitch lifted in the air, right field. Michael Burgess is drifting back and makes the catch in medium right for the final out here in the second inning. So for the Long Island Ducks, they got a couple of walks to start the inning. They threatened, but a double play in there, a fly out to end it. They do not score. 1 man left at the end of 2 here at Bethpage Ballpark in CI. Score remains Ducks 1, Patriots nothing.
Hey fan, this is outfielder Delta Clear Jr. You're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 1039 LI News Radio.
James Simmons is going back. He is looking up, and on in the park night, that one is gone and reaches a kennel in Central Islip.
That was another home run for the Ducks. And Duck fans, what's more fun than a home run that helps the Ducks win a game? How about a homer that helps the community win? Chappie's Funeral Home and the Long Island Ducks have once again teamed up for the Chappie's Home Run Challenge. If the Ducks hit 100 homers this season, Chappie's Funeral Home will donate $5,000 to the Quackerjack Foundation. So every time a Ducks hitter goes deep this season, watch for the Chappie's Challenge home run count on the scoreboard. And if we reach 100, we're all a winner. Chappie's Funeral Home, where caring for others is a family tradition.
Can't get enough of the Long Island Ducks? Well, now you can get even more inside info on your favorite hometown team through Facebook and Twitter. The Ducks are constantly updating fans through social media with scores, transactions, ballpark promotions, and much more. You can even win great prizes. All you'll need to do is make a free account on Facebook and Twitter, and then visit us at facebook.com/LIDucks and twitter.com/LIDucks. Think you're Long Island's biggest Ducks fan? Get connected now.
Welcome back to Bethpage Ballpark. Long Island Ducks and Somerset Patriots going into the top of the third inning. It's your Long Island Ducks 1 and the Somerset Patriots nothing. Leading it off for Somerset in this inning will be Johnny Tucker, and I'll turn the play-by-play back over to my partner, David Weiss.
Thank you, Chris Buckley. Tucker at the plate, center fielder, 8th in the order for the Somerset Patriots. As starter Darren Downs misses outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Downs to this point has not surrendered a hit. As we enter the top of the third, has walked 1, struck out 2, has started out very nicely for the Ducks, who have a 1-zip lead. Pitch on the way to Tucker, and there is a base hit that falls in front of Phelan Lentini to right field. So no sooner did I talk about going hitless, Johnny Tucker comes through with a leadoff single to right for the Somerset Patriots. 1 on, nobody out.
And Johnny was 2 for 3 last night. Right here at Bethpage Ballpark. Gets his first hit here this evening, 1 for 1, and now it'll be the 9-hitter in the lineup, and Adam Donahue, the catcher.
Now Darren Downs with a pretty good move to first, and he's a lefty, so he's looking right at Johnny Tucker. Tucker is a threat to steal. He is 7 for 8 in the stolen base department, being held on by big Randy Ruiz at first.
Perhaps even more of a threat out in center field as well.
Very true. He can track everything down with that speed. Adam Donahue, catcher at the plate, righty-righty matchup, and very quick as possible. Downs will do more than just throw over. For lefties and righties on the mound, one way to keep runners close is to vary that time to the plate, maybe even quick pitch when necessary. And a block in front of home plate by catcher Dan Curry, keeping it in front of him and keeping Tucker at first base on that ball in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes to Adam Donahue, who's at 192. 4 homers, has power, has knocked in 21. So this will be a challenge for the Long Island Ducks with the leadoff single from Tucker and his speed for the Ducks to keep Somerset off the scoreboard in this inning. Coming set is Darren Downs. Takes a long look in, and there's a drive to left field. Little humpback liner, base hit, falls in front of Brian Sabatella. So a couple of base hits Back-to-back singles here in the top of the third, and Somerset has something cooking.
And again, I think that ball really did go off the end of Donaghy's bat. That's the third time now. The first two, luckily for Long Island, were caught. That one, not so lucky. It falls in front of Brian Sabatella, and it'll go back to the top of the order for Somerset. But again, I don't know if it's just Downs who's throwing good enough pitches that he's getting the batters to lunge out at the ball. I don't really think Donaghy actually lunged at that one. It did sound, though, again, like it did go off the end of his bat. It didn't break it that time like it did the first two times, but either way, Donaghy standing at first base with the base hit.
I think Donaghy was fooled on that off-speed pitch.
Right.
Just reached down, kind of poked it to left field. So 2 on with nobody out. Thomas Neal at the plate, the leadoff man for the Somerset Patriots. Coming set is Downs, and a pitch on the way is a fastball up high. 1 ball and no strikes. Neal led off the game at precisely 7:41 tonight. A little more than an hour after we were supposed to start due to a rain delay. And Neal led off by flying out to Lentini in right. He's 0 for 1. Coming set, Downs, and a swing and a foul straight back. Thomas Neal with a big hack. 1 ball and 1 strike. Neal just missing that one. Tried to time it. Just got under it. 1 run, 2 hits for the Long Island Ducks. No runs. Somerset went without a hit in the first 2 innings, but have back-to-back singles here, leading off the third. Johnny Tucker, with all that speed, leading off second. He's in scoring position. Catcher Adam Donaghy, slightly less speed. And this one goes off the mitt of catcher Dan Curry, and both runners will move up. As good as a sacrifice bunt. That could go down as a wild pitch. That was high and away off the top of the catcher's mitt of Dan Curry. So Tucker moves to third, Donaghy to second. 2 runners in scoring position, nobody out for the Somerset Patriots.
That's another tough call. I'm not really sure which way that's going to go, because in real time, it looked like Corey really could have had the ball, but on second thought, and it is officially ruled a pass ball. So charge that to Dan Corey, because that wasn't out of the zone enough that I would consider that a wild pitch. That was definitely within the reach, the wingspan of Dan Corey, so it is going to be a pass ball.
All right. And there's a drive to left field, and that is going to fall in front of Brian Sabatella. 1 run is in. Scoring is Johnny Tucker. Being held at third base is Adam Donaghy. Sabatella gets it back in quickly. Runners on the corner. Somerset has tied the game here in the top of the third, 1 apiece.
So immediately the Patriots make the Ducks pay for the pass ball. 3 straight.
And Johnny Tucker could have walked home backwards. Donaghy, without a whole lot of speed, was held up at third base. So runners on the corners now with Thomas Neal at first base. So 3 consecutive singles for the Somerset Patriots. They've tied it at 1, looking for more. Still nobody out. And Darren Downs to face the number 2 man in the order, Vinny Zerillo, who struck out his first time up. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Pitch on the way is inside, nearly hitting Zerillo. 1 ball and no strikes.
Zerillo had a really interesting story with him. Again, 2014, he's a junior at Rutgers, and then graduates from the university this past May of 15. He's 22 years old and playing with the Patriots already here in the Atlantic League. Was team captain his senior year for the Scarlet Knights, and in college a career .307 hitter, 114 RBIs in 208 games. Won the Big East batting title his sophomore year. He had .407 in regular season league games, and was a pretty good student athlete as well. All academic selection, and comes to Somerset with all those credentials.
And Zerillo bunts it to the right side, and the throw over to first base is not in time. A run scores. Zerillo is on. That'll go down as a base hit, an RBI for Zerillo. Scoring Adam Donaghy. And a 2-1 lead for the Somerset Patriots. The Ducks kind of came apart there, everybody running toward the baseball.
And Darren Downs slipped. That's exactly what happened. He came off the mound immediately, and if you look at the mound right around the outer edge where the grass meets the dirt, as pitching coach Marty Jansen will come out and check on his starter, Randy Ruiz, also standing in and having a conversation with the southpaw, now even the catcher, Dan Corey. So now just the visit to the mound, I suppose, although it probably won't be official because the umpire's standing out there as well, just checking on the injury. But back to the original point. If you look around the outer edge of the mound, you can see that it's damp. The dirt is still wet, but he didn't slip on the dirt. He actually made it to the grass before he fell. He got about a step, maybe 2 steps onto the grass, was about to get to that baseball, and again, there's the safe motion from Frank Urilli behind home plate. Not an official mound visit for the Ducks. He slipped once he reached the grass. So, again, the field was covered by the tarp easily well before the rain started before the game. So not sure how much of a factor the rain was in that. Again, I'm sure that it definitely had something to do with it. It was still drizzling before the start of the game once the tarp was off, but he just had a clean fall. His feet just came right out from under him as he tried to go get the baseball.
And the result, 4 consecutive singles. The last one a bunt single. 2 runs are in. There's still nobody out. And runners on first and second. Zerillo at first, Thomas Neal at second, and there's a base hit down the left field line into the corner. Nope, it's foul. Boy, that was very, very close off the bat of David Vidal. That was signaled a foul ball after a couple of seconds and a long look down the third base line. But Vidal, who walked his first time up, looking to extend this Somerset Patriot lead and looking for a much bigger inning. They already have a crooked number up there. 2 runs, 4 consecutive for the Patriots.
Just to cap off that bizarre play, Darren Downs looked like he may have been hurt, but shook off any of the pain he might have experienced. Looked like he may have rolled his ankle, but he looks okay as he delivers home.
And it's down low, blocked by Dan Corey, and the count is now 1-1. Yeah, it was a crazy play, as you said. Downs slipped, and then it left it basically to Blake Davis and Randy Ruiz, second and first baseman, respectively.
Randy wasn't able to get there in time, and Blake Davis, actually, the way he was running, the angle he took to first base, the ball was behind him. So he barehanded the ball behind him as he was running. The ball came to his right, so he had to reach as he was running toward first base just to grab the ball, make sure it didn't go down the line.
And prevent more damage. Vidal with a big swing and a miss. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Darren Downs tries to stop the bleeding here in the top of inning number 2. Ducks had a 1-0 lead going to the top of the third. And Somerset had yet to register a hit. But 4 consecutive singles, including a bunt single from Vinny Zerillo, drove in the second run. It is 2-1 Somerset, and they're looking for more. Runners on first and second, still nobody out. Coming set down, pitch to Vidal, could be 2. Dan Lyons will throw over to Blake Davis for 1, and on to first for a double play. The pitcher's best buddy, and couldn't come at a better time for Darren Downs. Crossing over to third base is Thomas Neal, but Zerillo is erased. And the batter, of course, David Vidal, out as well. It goes 6-4-3, 2 down, 1 runner still left on.
That is absolutely crucial, especially when you consider who the batter is right now. Michael Burgess, who is 0 for 1 today, but we know what he could do with the bat and how dangerous he's been against the Ducks this year. So the runner at third with 2 away rather than 1 less out, and another runner aboard for a guy with some tremendous power.
Darren Downs trying to snuff out what could have been a much larger inning for the Somerset Patriots. They have scored 2, but it could have been much more. However, it's not quite over yet, as Downs needs to bear down, no pun intended, as Michael Burgess at the plate. Has a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Burgess with a home run last night for the Somerset Patriots, a game in which the Ducks won it 4-2. Each team has won a game in this 3-game series. This the rubber match, as Michael Burgess held his swing. Home plate umpire Frank Urillo checking with third base ump John Grasso, who signals safe. So Burgess has the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. This a lefty-lefty matchup. Chris Buckley and I talked at length during Burgess's first at-bat about just how hard he swings at everything. 1-1 pitch. Takes inside. The ball gets away from catcher Dan Curry. He throws to home plate. Not in time. And scoring is Thomas Neal from third base. And Somerset leads it 3-1.
Yeah, well, again, we'll wait for the official ruling on that. I have to believe that might be a pass ball as well.
Yep, went off the mitt of catcher Dan Curry. It was outside.
It's ruled a wild pitch, however. That's a close one. So it is a wild pitch.
And that
Downs
scores the 3rd run for the Somerset Patriots. As scrambling after it was Dan Curry. It went back to the netting. Turned around, flipping in one motion to the pitcher, Darren Downs, but it was offline. And sliding across home plate was Thomas Neal with the 3rd Somerset run. It's still early, still a long way to go, but that one's painful. After the double play, Darren Downs and the Ducks were just trying to limit the damage and get rid of this half inning with only 2 runs surrendered. 2-1 pitch on the way to Burgess. There's that big home run cut. You could feel the breeze from that swing up here. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, there's nobody on now, but an inning that has featured 4 consecutive singles 2 runs scored off those singles, and the wild pitch bringing in a 3rd run. 2-2 with 2 down, nobody on. And the pitch to Burgess. Another big swing and a miss. And he goes down on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Darren Downs. However, in the inning for the Somerset Patriots, 3 runs, 4 hits. It was a double play. There was a wild pitch. There was no one left. At the end of 2.5, we go to the bottom of the 3rd, and the score now, Somerset 3, Ducks 1.
Hey fans, this is outfielder Brian Sabatella, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 1039 LI News Radio.
Spring into a new Honda at Huntington Honda and pay $59 a month for a new 2015 Honda Civic LX sedan. $59. So spring into Huntington Honda on Jericho Turnpike just east of Route 110 or HuntingtonHondaCars.com.
Huntington Honda, discover the difference.
Auto 24-month lease, total due at inception. Civic $31.90 includes bank fee, first month's payment, no security deposit. Taxes, DMV, title fees extra with excellent credit through HFS.
Baseball fans, the Long Island Ducks mobile app has officially arrived. Powered by Clear Vision Apps, it's your one-stop shop for all things Ducks baseball. Buy tickets straight from your mobile device. Receive game status updates with push notifications. Check out up-to-the-minute news and scores and interact with the Ducks on social media. Best of all, it's free. Download the Ducks mobile app today by visiting the App Store on your Apple-powered device or Google Play on your Android-powered device. The Long Island Ducks mobile app, with you wherever you flock to.
Hey Ducks fans, the final out of the top of the 3rd inning was the 15th out of tonight's ball game. Did you know that a 15-minute call to Geico could save you 50% or more on your car insurance? Get a free quote today. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. That's 1-800-947-AUTO or visit geico.com.
So we go to the bottom of inning number 3 here at Bethpage Ballpark. A game that started just over an hour late due to those strong storms that sliced their way across the Northeast, which included Nassau and Suffolk counties. Rained hard for a short time here. Grounds crew did a fantastic job getting the field in shape. Tarp was on the infield, outfield, cleaned up in a hurry. Field looks just fine for the most part, and we have a 3-1 lead for the Somerset Patriots, scoring 3 runs in the top of the 3rd inning. The Ducks looking to maybe just do some damage, put something up on the board here with Dan Lyons, Delta Cleary Jr., and Randy Ruiz to face the starter for the Somerset Patriots, R.J. Seidel, who to this point has struck out 1 and walked 3, a pitcher who normally has better control than that. We'll see if he settles down. The Ducks, with 1 run in the bottom of the 1st, came in on a ground out after a leadoff double from Phelan Lentini to lead off the bottom of the 1st. Dan Lyons takes a strike on the inside corner. He sent a deep fly ball out to right center field his first time up. Lentini tagged on that fly. As Lyons again hits it in the air, this time to medium right center. This time close to the warning track and tracked down by Johnny Tucker. Lyons actually got more out of that than we thought. There's no breeze whatsoever right now looking at the flags. That was all Dan Lyons and sent it to the warning track, but 1 out.
Yeah, definitely no significant breeze right now. Maybe a bit out to right field, but really nothing in comparison to what it's usually like here at Bethpage Ballpark. And one of the things that I've noticed really over the course of the season that I never really noticed before, the ball really does carry here. It definitely does carry. On certain nights, whatever way the wind is blowing, it's usually blowing in a certain direction. There's very rarely a night where you could say, there's really no breeze at all. The ball's just not carrying tonight. It's not going to go over. Pretty much every night, in one direction or another, it's going to go out if you get it into the right part of the ballpark.
Yeah, take
in whatever direction the wind's going.
Look at that. You got the flags down the right field line. The American flag not doing much, but the flags on the scoreboard are whipping
to left field.
Yeah, a circular motion. Delta Cleary Jr. at the plate. It's 2 balls and no strikes. He bounced to second his first time up, but in the process drove in Phelan Lentini, so got an RBI out of the deal. Takes a strike in the outside corner. 2-1 to Delta Cleary Jr., who came into the game at 286 and 10th in hitting in the Atlantic League. So Lou Ford, who left the Long Island Ducks and left leading the league in average at 364, almost 80 points behind Lou, Delta Cleary Jr., but still 10th in the league in hitting as he fouls it out of play to the left. And the count is full on Delta. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Really, since he's gotten here, Delta, which happened back around, I'd say, mid to late May, he's been in the lineup pretty much every single day. Maybe not right away, but once he got through the first week or so, he had a bit of a rough patch. He's been in that lineup every day.
And he flies one out to left field. Vinny Cirillo is coming in, couple of steps, and makes the catch. So on the payoff pitch to Delta Cleary Jr., lifts a fly ball to left. He's retired 2 down. So 2 fly ball outs here in the bottom of the third for the Long Island Ducks, who trail Somerset 3-1. And big Randy Ruiz lumbers to the plate. Ruiz with a hard single up the middle his first time up. Back in the first inning, advancing to second on a pass ball with 2 down, but was left there. And Randy takes a big one-handed cut and misses. No balls and a strike to Randy Ruiz. Came into the game at 3:31 as he sends one down the right field line and fairly deep, going over, chasing it to Michael Burgess, and makes the catch in the right field corner. Nice play by Burgess. That one was slicing away from him. So in the inning for the Long Island Ducks, a fly out to center, a fly out to left, and Randy Ruiz flies out to right. All the outfielders get a put out here in the bottom of inning number 3. 3 up and 3 down. Here at Bethpage Ballpark, the score remains Somerset 3, the Ducks 1.
Hey fans, this is catcher Mike Blank, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 1039 LI News Radio.
Few places on earth offer the charm and excitement of Fire Island. At Fire Island Ferries, located conveniently at 99 Maple Avenue in Bay Shore, they offer convenient travel to Fire Island 7 days a week. Fire Island is quickly becoming a top destination for families of all ages. Experience the informal, carefree communities, the dazzling night scene, enjoy fine dining, or climb to the top of one of the tallest lighthouses in the United States. But there's only one way to get there, by calling Fire Island Ferries at 631-665-3600 today. For fare and scheduling information, please visit fireislandferries.com.
Hey Ducks fans, stay up to date with Long Island's hometown team by visiting Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks. Quack of the Bat will bring Ducks fans beyond the headlines with in-depth feature articles, breaking news stories, game previews, post-game wrap-ups, and so much more. Interact with the team during the entire season through quotes directly from the players and coaches, as well as exclusive video clips and photos. Check out the blog today at quackofthebat.wordpress.com. Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks.
Back at Bethpage Ballpark, David Wise, Chris Buckley going to the top of inning number 4. It's the Ducks and Somerset Patriots. Somerset leading at 3-1. We've got a trivia question to toss out to you in just a moment or two. But first, to the matter at hand, top of the 4th, taking over the reins of the play-by-play. Here he is, fresh out of Hofstra University, Chris Buckley.
Thank you, David. And we go to the top of the 4th inning. Somerset 3, Long Island 1. Darren Downs allowing 3 runs in the third to Somerset. Back out on the hill for the flock here in top of the 4th frame, facing Greg Hopkins, the third baseman, who is 0 for 1 on the day. Flew out to right field in his first at-bat. The 1-0 from the southpaw Downs is a called strike on the outside corner. Count even at 1-1. So we'll give you the trivia question. Can you name the only 2 players to hit 5 homers in a doubleheader? The only 2 players to ever hit 5 home runs in a doubleheader, as Hopkins fouls one into the dirt, 1-2 the count.
Now, you're talking about on every level of baseball, just the Atlantic
Major
League?
Leagues, Major League Baseball. And again, this is our trivia question where we test your knowledge of the Long Island Ducks and baseball as a whole.
That's
so,
right.
So Major League Baseball included. So
how many players?
Only 2 players to ever hit 5 homers across a doubleheader. I'll give you the answer in the bottom of the inning.
I might have one of them.
Okay, we'll see if you're right. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not letting you cheat.
No, and this is a tough one. It really is.
It is. That is a difficult question, definitely.
Although it's a great trivia question because there are so many possible answers.
Right.
So,
right.
You can take a stab at it.
Absolutely. So Downs comes set at the letters. He'll kick and deal the 2-2. In on the hands, goes out behind home plate over the screen, out of play. Count will stay 2-2.
And by the way, a slew of defensive changes for the Somerset Patriots that we'll get to when
they get back out on the field.
Or when they come to the plate. We have some substitutions, a little bit of a Macarena on the field, a cha-cha, people going from right to left, et cetera. And why it happened, who knows?
The 2-2 is roped to left field, and deep going back is the left fielder Sabatella. It goes just off the top of the wall, almost a homer for Greg Hopkins. Throw comes back in. The head first slide is not in time on the throw from Sabatella. Hopkins in there safely into second base, and it's a long double for the Somerset third baseman. And with no one out, they have position, again leading 3-1 in the top of the fourth.
Hopkins missed a homer by no more than a foot, maybe 2 feet, near the yellow part of the top of the wall down the left field line. And how about Sabatella's arm, just throwing it in. One hop, very close play at second base, but Hopkins is in there and in scoring position, leading off here the fourth inning.
And from the warning track, that's a good point. I really didn't even think about that. That is a great throw from Brian Sabatella to make that play as close as it was, as Hopkins, by about maybe half a second, beat the tag from Blake Davis. So the first pitch from Downs to now the shortstop Robert Andino is a fastball, a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Andino flew out to Sabatella in left field in the second. That's from the right side of the plate, hitting .260 on the year. Downs with the slide step, comes home, and it bounces in the dirt off the outside edge. Nice block by Dan Corey, and so far in the game, we've seen Downs and Corey have trouble at times in making sure that the ball does not go to the backstop. We had a pass ball in the third inning. Wild pitch as well. Last inning is Somerset put up their 3 runs. 3 runs on 5 hits for the Pats. The 1-1 from Downs is fouled off the end of Andino's bat, off the tip of Corey's glove, and it rolls to the left side. The count is 1-2.
And certainly later on, we'll keep you up to date on what's happening across the major leagues. And with the trading deadline upon us, any moves that might have been made, we'll let you know how Wilmer Flores is feeling. I mean,
well,
I'll tell you something about Wilmer. You know, I feel he just needs a hug.
He does, and that story continued today, and not in the favor of Mets fans, as that pitch is off the outside corner by about a few inches, and the count comes even at 2-2. And that main player that I'm sure everyone knows from that deal that was supposed to be happening last night, at least everyone thought was going to happen, went to a different team today.
Carlos Gomez is gone.
Yep. The 2-2 check swing from Andino. Well, they check with the field umpire, and there is finally the call from first base umpire Dave Speranza. And there's the safe motion as well. So it is a ball, very close pitch. I would say that's the same pitch as the one before, and this time it would have been perhaps a swinging strike if Andino went around. It was not a called strike, but Darren Downs does not get the call. So full count, no one out. Runner on second is Greg Hopkins. Southpaw comes home, 3-2, and the third straight time that the fastball misses off the outside corner by a few inches, and that puts the runner at first base in Robert Andino.
And for Darren Downs, the second walk he has issued to go along with his 3 strikeouts. Picking up on that Wilmer Flores story, though, thankfully, most of the reaction to him showing his emotion to what he thought was being traded away was positive.
Right.
Yeah, no one was picking on him or saying there's no crying in baseball, the Tom Hanks line or anything like that. But the reaction was so positive, I'm thinking of getting hysterical. To use a odd couple line, and Walter Matthau, my hero.
This ball hit high in the air by Nate Spears. Shallow center field. It's an infield fly. Dan Lyons will range out, reach up, and make the grab for the first out. Was an out anyway, but the runners will stay exactly where they are. Andino at first, Hopkins at second, and there is one away. And here comes Jose Garcia Reyes. So here is the one change in terms of the starting 9 in the lineup for Brett Jody's Somerset Patriots. Jose Garcia Reyes takes over for Johnny Tucker, who was in center field. Garcia Reyes now playing second base and hitting 8th in the lineup. So Tucker finishes the day with a single, a run scored for Somerset in his 1 at-bat last inning. So in comes Garcia Reyes wearing number 15. And he is not Jose Reyes, who's now a Colorado Rocky.
No, but probably the reason why they're using his middle name to differentiate.
I would say that's a very good bet. First pitch from Downs. It's a fastball on the outside corner this time. called strike, 0-1.
And I give you a lot of credit for noticing all the changes that have taken place defensively and in the lineup, too. I probably would have gone to the and not have noticed that thing.
We'll give you the alignment changes when Somerset goes back out in the field. The 0-1 is off the outside edge. Looked like a changeup from Downs. So count even at 1-1. Garcia Reyes on the year hitting .229, no homers, 3 runs batted in. And again, we told you Vinny Zerillo, fresh out of Rutgers University, joined the Somerset Patriots. Garcia Reyes, a bit of a similar story as well for Somerset. Did not play professional baseball in 2014. Out of Ramapo College, was playing a game at TD Bank Ballpark. Before Somerset had a game, the staff and some of the players were there. They saw him. They liked what they saw, and they had a tryout for him, and he got signed. So that's how he's here, as that pitch is low and in to the righty-hitting Garcia Reyes for ball 2. Count 2-1. 1 away. Again, runners on first and second. The Patriots lead it 3-1, top of the 4th inning at Bethpage Ballpark. Swing and a miss. Healthy cut from Garcia Reyes. But Downs blows it by him, and the count comes even at 2-2.
I'll tell you this, that Garcia Reyes listed at 5'10", 165. I mean, you put him up against some of the larger guys on this field, he looks like a little leaguer.
Right.
But a lot of speed, a lot of talent.
And he swings and misses at the curveball low and in from Darren Downs. So there's 2 away, and Downs now just 1 out away from working out what looked like another jam for a second straight inning.
Yeah, it's been an up and down outing for Darren Downs, or you might say an up and downs outing, to be more exact. He has 4 strikeouts. He's walked 2. 3rd inning presented a problem. But as Chris mentioned, many of the base hits not hit all that hard. Off the end of the bat, broken bats, looping, little humpback line drives to the outfield. But enough of them put together to score 3 in the 3rd inning, and Ducks trying to keep Somerset from doing any more damage.
Well, Somerset has hit them where the Ducks are not. That's what has happened so far, as the check swing from Adam Donahue on the curveball ricochets toward the Ducks dugout for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Donahue with a single and a run scored as well in the 3rd. Johnny Tucker, who officially now ruled out of the game with a calf injury.
Okay, there you go.
That is the diagnosis for Johnny Tucker.
And that caused the shuffle in the defense.
Big shuffle.
Right.
Everyone moving all over the place. And again, we'll tell you more about the defensive side of that when Somerset comes to the field in the bottom of the inning. The 0-1 from Downs is a curveball low and in front of Donahue's ankles. Count even at 1-1.
So Donahue coming into the game at 192. This is the guy that he needs to get. Darren Downs does not want to turn this lineup back to the top of the order with yet another man aboard. So he needs to bear down on Donahue.
Absolutely right. Neal ready with a single and a run scored, an RBI single back at the top of the order. The 1-1 roped into the left center field gap. Delta Cleary Jr. chasing it. He won't get there. It bounces and it rolls to the warning track. Cleary Jr. cuts it off with a slide. 1 run is in. Rounding 3rd and scoring is another run. And that's Robert Andino. A 2-run double for the catcher, Adam Donahue. Hitting 192 on the year. And the catcher makes it a 5-1 contest in favor of the Somerset Patriots in the top of the 4th frame.
Yeah, Hopkins and Andino just circling the bases with 2 outs. It doesn't help you that you're running with the quack of the bat. And Hopkins and Andino were off to the races. Center fielder Delta Cleary Jr., even with his speed, had all he could do just to stop that ball from reaching the wall. As he slid, made the stop on the warning track. But Donahue just drilling it to left center field. He was the man that Downs had to get. Donahue drives in 2.
Back to the top of the order. First pitch fastball is a strike to Thomas Neal. And how about Robert Andino, a Major League veteran, scoring from first base on that play as well. Heads up base running. The 0-1 from Downs. Swing and a miss. Curveball low and in, and Neal tries to hit a home run off of it. Actually fouled it into the dirt. But the count 0-2. And that double definitely hurts.
Well, the saving grace is that it's still early.
Right.
It's top of the 4th. Ducks have some time, but they'll need to be in comeback mode.
The 0-2. Hit to the right side. If it's fair, it'll be an RBI and extra bases possibly, but it's foul. There's the official ruling from Dave Speranza. Bit of a late call. And depends on how quickly Phelan Lentini was able to get over to that. If it would have been fair, I think he probably would have just been held to a single, but Donahue should have scored. Lentini with all that speed out in right field, but it's a moot point. Foul ball. Again, Neal with the RBI and a single. In the third, run scored on a wild pitch. The 0-2 from number 23, Darren Downs. Curveball blocked by Dan Corey. Neal hitting from the right side of the plate. Corey makes sure that ball doesn't bounce to the backstop. Count is 1-2.
One thing the Patriots are doing, taking a lot of pitches, fouling them off. First 2 innings, pitch count was relatively economical for Darren Downs, but the last couple of frames, third and fourth, that pitch count climbing.
And that's another key for Downs. He has to get ahead in the count early because he's the kind of guy that will go to that curveball. His curveball is his best pitch, that's for sure. So he wants to use that curveball. So if he's going to throw it, he either has to get ahead in the count on a fastball, throw it for a first pitch strike, or otherwise it's going to be trouble. And I think that is what has happened here this evening, is that he's trying to throw the curveball in counts that you otherwise maybe wouldn't, and he again gets further back in the count, has to throw a fastball, and the Pats are pouncing on it. There's another curveball, bounces off the left shoulder of Dan Corey. Going from second to third is Adam Donahue. So he moves up 90 feet, and he's now just 90 more feet away from making this a 6-1 ball game. Count is 2-2.
Yeah, we'll see what that goes down as. Looked like a wild pitch because it was in the dirt.
I think that's definitely going to be a wild pitch.
Yeah, Dan Curry did all he could to try to block it, but it skipped away. And now you got another runner just 90 feet away. Ducks have already surrendered 2 runs in this frame and would like to end it right here.
Donahue off of third base, not a big lead. No one else on. 2 outs to 2-2 from Darren Downs. Is hit into center field, a base hit. Donahue will trot home and score. A short turnaround first for the designated hitter, Thomas Neal, also the leadoff hitter, retreats back to the bag, and he has himself another RBI single, his second of the night. He's 2 for 3, and the Somerset Patriots add another run. This score is 6-1.
Yeah, just piling on now with some clutch hitting. With 2 down in this inning, Donahue with that 2 RBI double to left center field, gets to third base on a wild pitch, and then Thomas Neal just drilling one right back up the middle. So 3 runs in the third inning for Somerset, another 3 here in the fourth, 6-1.
Back-to-back 3 spots for the road team as Zerillo fouls that one off left side over the screen behind home plate. Out of play, count 0-1. And you have to wonder, is anyone warming up in the bullpen right now for the Long Island Ducks? Obviously, we can't tell here the way that the ballpark is set up. Down in that right field corner, he's currently over 70 pitches. He's actually closer to 80. Going from first to second, the steal is Thomas Neal. No attempt of a throw from Dan Corey. And the pitch was a ball as well. So it's a 1-1 count for Thomas Neal, his 4th stolen base of the season. Going from first to second.
It was an off-speed pitch, and I think Dan Corey made the right decision. Such a great jump from Neal, no way to get him. Hold on to the ball.
The 1-1, again bounced in the dirt, a curveball. 2-1 count.
Well, we'll see just what kind of leash Kevin Baez has on Darren Downs. There are times when you kind of say, this is the battle. We got to think about the war.
He is at exactly 80 pitches. There's 81. Count 2-2, swing and a miss at the fastball inside. Zerillo hits from the left side of the plate. 233 on the year. 1 for 2 on the night. Ducks just trying to escape from this inning without allowing another run. The 2-2. Curveball on the outside corner, a called strike 3. So Darren Downs works out of the inning eventually, but he gives up another 3 spot. 3 in the third for Somerset. 3 in the fourth as well, as Zerillo goes down looking to end the inning. 3 runs on 3 hits for the Pats in the frame. No Long Island errors, and 1 left aboard by Somerset. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's the Somerset Patriots 6, the Long Island Ducks 1, and the flock will come up to bat when we return.
Hey fans, this is Jose Morales, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 1039 LI News Radio.
Hey, Ducks fans, the official hotel of the Long Island Ducks is the Upsky Long Island Hotel in Hauppauge. It's centrally located on the north shore of Long Island and offers a home away from home for both business and leisure guests. The Upsky Long Island Hotel features an indoor pool, 24-hour business center, a fitness center, and complimentary Wi-Fi in all guest rooms. Enjoy the contemporary American cuisine at the Fountain Grill restaurant or grab a quick bite to eat at Cafe Pronto. Best of all, it's only minutes from Bethpage Ballpark. The Upsky Long Island Hotel, the official hotel of the Long Island Ducks. Call 231-1100 today. That's 631-231-1100.
Family fun every time. Beautiful evening for baseball. Big action every time.
He reaches up, it's gone!
Great value every time.
And the Ducks have won it 7-1.
The Ducks schedule is loaded with new promotions this season, and with an average ticket price of just $10 and free parking, there is no better value on Long Island. For game times and tickets, visit liducks.com. Long Island Ducks baseball. Good times every time.
Back at Bethpage Ballpark, David Wise, Chris Buckley. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. The Ducks have some work to do. They will have to come back from a 6-1 deficit if they hope to win 2 out of 3 from the Somerset Patriots on the heels of that 4-2 win over the Pats last night. We will take care of that unfinished business, the trivia question in a moment, but first, Puckett at the plate.
And R.J. Seidel with a 5-run lead now, and his first pitch to Cody is a fastball in the outside corner, a called strike. Before we give you the answer to the trivia question, we'll step out for 5 seconds, station identification. Second pitch to Cody Puckett is a fastball in the outside corner, count 1-1. This one, Cody off the end of his bat, lofts it out to right field. Nate Spears, who went from second base to the right field with all the defensive changes, which we will also tell you, reaches up. And you name the only 2 players to hit 5 homers in a doubleheader. So across the 2 games of a doubleheader, only 2 players have ever hit 5 home runs. Can you name them?
I've got one possible.
Fastball to Sabatella, called strike on the outside corner,
I
0-1.
seem to remember in the 1970s, when I really was a big Major League Baseball fan, that a guy on the San Diego Padres drove in 13 runs in a doubleheader. His name, Nate Colbert. Did he have 5 homers as well?
He did. He's part of the answer, but not for the Padres.
Wow, so I got the right guy.
Right, as Sabatella ropes this one out past a diving Jose Garcia Reyes and into right center field for a base hit.
Boy, Brian hit that one well, right on the button to right center field.
Really
so Colbert,
did.
was he playing for the Giants at the time?
He was playing for the Astros.
Oh, there you go. But it was Nate Colbert. 5 homers, 13 RBIs in a doubleheader. That's what I remember.
The other answer.
Let's see, Ted Williams.
No.
Okay, go ahead. I give up.
Stan Musial with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, okay. I had the right era.
Right.
All right. Not
so
bad.
5 homers across the span of a doubleheader for Stan Musial and Nate Colbert with the Astros. Musial, of course, with the Cardinals.
Yeah, but who else would get Nate Colbert? You got to give me a
right.
lot of credit.
Oh, no, I give you credit for that.
That's
I was
credit.
not expecting you to get that. That's a very nice
Nate
job.
Colbert, who was alive well before you were born.
So 1 away. Steve McQuail, the designated hitter this evening, is our batter. First pitch fastball from Seidel is off the outside edge, count 1-0. Steve walked in his first at bat. So Sabatella off of first. Seidel works from the stretch. Slide step, curveball on the inside corner is a called strike. Count 1-1.
I'll tell you, baseball would love it if there were more Chris Buckleys around who are students of the game, which you are. Doesn't make a difference how old you are. If you know what came first, if you have a sense of the history of the game, which you obviously do, that's what baseball's looking for.
McQuail fouls one into the glove
and
of Adam Donahue on the curveball, count 1-2.
Also makes you an excellent broadcaster, too, because you need more than just a frame of reference of what's going on here. You need to know what came before.
True. Very true. Dan Corey, the catcher, stands in the on-deck circle. Vidal holds on Sabatella at first, the 1-2. Sabatella not going. McQuail hits one up the middle. Slow roller. Backhanded by Garcia Reyes. Will not get the flip to second. The throw to first is not in time. So it's an infield single for Steve McQuail. What a play by Jose Garcia Reyes, however, to even keep that ball on the infield. He slid on the run, fielded it on the backhand, and bounced the one hopper to David Vidal at first base. And it actually looked, it might be mistaken, but the first base umpire, Dave Speranza, was ready to actually call McQuail out if Vidal was able to hold on to that baseball. It popped out of his glove at the last second. So McQuail was safe, but that definitely is still an infield single. And Speranza had made the motion like he was about ready to make the out signal, but McQuail is in there at first. So Dan Corey's the batter. Ooh, chops the first one off the left shin guard of Adam Donahue, 0-1.
I'm surprised Jose Garcia Reyes didn't try to go to second base. I didn't think he had any shots at first.
Well, Sabatella, with all of his speed, made that a very difficult play and a difficult choice. So he beat that out to second regardless, and I actually think Garcia Reyes made the right choice overall when you think about it with Sabatella and McQuail's speed, both put in perspective, as Corey hits this one foul right side out of the ballpark.
Nonetheless, I thought that's what he was going to try first.
Right.
A flip. And we've seen many web jam highlight plays who are behind the back, a little flip, bare hand, something.
As the play was unfolding, you would have thought that he was about to flip the ball to second base. That is very true.
But the Ducks trying to build on this. 2 on, 1 out, and trailing by 5.
Seidel has the sign from Donahue. The 0-2 to the catcher, Dan Corey, with 1 away. Ground ball could be 2. Here's the offering. Swing and a miss into the dirt and scooped up by Donahue, and Corey is down swinging on strikes. So it'll be the 9-hitter Blake Davis, the second baseman. The game-tying 2-run ground rule double yesterday for Long Island. As the Ducks trail 6-1, 5-run deficit that they are trying to make up here at the Duck Pond this evening. Chris Buckley and David Weiss here with you. As always, we thank you for bringing us a part of your evening entertainment. It is a humid, muggy evening here in Central Islip. 2 away. First pitch to Davis is a curveball, a beauty on the outside corner from Seidel. Count 0-1. Davis takes it.
If we were looking for those thunderstorms that rolled on through to suck the humidity out of the air, it really didn't happen. The air's still quite heavy, but a lot of fans stuck around. Good crowd tonight.
The 0-1. Is hit out into left field. Ranging back is Michael Burgess on the run under the warning track. Reaches up. Did he make the grab? No official rule. There is the out call. What a catch by Michael Burgess.
Wow.
Incredible play by the left fielder Burgess, who moved from right field to left field last, and we were actually unaware of it. That's more than a web gem right there. That is an absolutely unbelievable grab that prevents 2 runs from scoring. Would have been another 2-run double for Blake Davis, but Michael Burgess sliding headfirst onto the warning track, reaches out, full extension, falls face first, and makes the grab to retire the side. Absolutely incredible play. And we are through 4 full innings, no runs for the Ducks in the frame on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We go to the top of the 5th. It's Somerset 6 and Long Island 1, and Somerset will come up to bat when we come back.
Hey fans, this is closing pitcher Ryan Cushball, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic and weather, 103.9 LI News Radio.
Beautify your patio, walkway, driveway, or pool surround with Nicoloc paving stones and walls. Nicoloc's specially formulated paver shield offers extra surface wear protection and color enhancement throughout the thickness of the paver. Paver shield guarantees that your pavers will look great for years to come. Bring home the elegance with Nicoloc. Visit the Nicoloc Design Center, Sunrise Highway, Lindenhurst, or Nicoloc.com.
Let Nicoloc pavers pave your way.
Enjoy the ultimate VIP fan experience at Bethpage Ballpark this season by taking in a Ducks game from the brand new Trout Town Fan Can. Presented by Roscoe Beer Company, the Fan Can is available for rental at all Ducks home games. It features 12 Dream Seat theater-style padded seats, beverage holders, an air-conditioned atmosphere, and an incredible view of the game. Packages are now available with food and beverage included. To reserve your Fan outing today, call the Ducks Group Sales Department at 631-940-3825. The Trout Town Fan Can at Bethpage Ballpark. Your VIP experience has arrived.
Fans, don't forget to stop by the Waddle Inn Shop on your next visit here to Bethpage Ballpark, affectionately known as the Duck Pond, where exclusive hard-to-find Ducks memorabilia is now on sale. Proceeds, as always, benefit the Quacker Jack Foundation, the charitable arm of the Long Island Ducks. And we do have a call to the bullpen as the Ducks make a pitching change. Skipper Kevin Baez removing Darren Downs, who goes 4 innings. We'll give you his numbers and his line in a moment. But Billy Buckner, who has made 11 appearances this season, all of them starts, making his first relief appearance of the season against the Somerset Patriots in the top of the 5th. Billy Buckner with a record of 7-2, an ERA of just over 5. We'll give you more of his numbers in a moment, but Buckner, the new pitcher for the Long Island Ducks to start out here in the 5th inning.
And he faces first baseman David Vidal. First pitch from Buckner is a fastball up and in for a ball, 1-0. And Billy last actually started on July 22nd, took a loss, 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, 62 strikes on 107 pitches. And that 1-0 fastball splits the corners, makes the count even at 1-1. Vidal 0 for 1 on the night. Has walked and hit into a double play. And just still going back to that Michael Burgess catch to end that bottom of the 4th inning. We were able to see that replay. Absolutely unbelievable grab, robbing Blake Davis of what was surely 2 runs scored for the Ducks, 2 RBIs for Blake, and extra bases as well for the Ducks second baseman, all taken away with that incredible effort. The 1-1 curveball is off the outside corner, 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, he was on a dead run, racing to our right of the King Cullen sign near the Y.
Right.
And the Y stands for Yowza. That was an incredible catch by Michael Burgess.
Now another ball hit out to left field. Going back, Sabatella onto the warning track, looking up, and it is over the wall. A solo home run for Somerset first baseman David Vidal, the first batter that Billy Buckner faces in his first relief appearance as a Duck. A solo shot to the opposition, and the Pats go up 6 now. 7-1 the score in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, Vidal got all of that one over the King Cullen sign this time. A cleanup in aisle 7 is needed as David Vidal sends it over the wall for his 3rd home run of the season. He got all of it. And what a shot from Vidal as the Somerset Patriots don't show any signs of letting up.
Michael Burgess hitting from the left side, fresh off his web gem, will be the batter. Fastball up and away out of the zone, count 1-0. Burgess 0 for 2 so far. The 1-0 from number 29, the right-hander out of Locust Grove, Georgia, is low and away, 2-0 the count.
Billy Buckner has been the recipient of lots of Duck offense this season.
Yes, he has.
He but tied for 3rd in the league in wins with 7 of them. 53 2/3 innings pitched coming into this appearance. 64 hits given up. Struck out 47, walked 27, given up 30 earned runs as well.
Burgess hitting from the left side, takes a 2-0 fastball in front of his shoes, and the count 3-0. The offering from Buckner here is a fastball in the outside corner, called strike, 3-1. 7 runs on 8 hits for the Pats, 1 run on 4 hits for your Long Island Ducks. The 3-1 is hit sky high, out of play, left side of the field, up into the stands. Now onto the concourse, so Buckner fights back, gets the count to full, 3-2.
We have mentioned throughout the game how hard Burgess swings. He doesn't do anything that isn't flashy, and that includes what he just did in the outfield.
Truly.
The last half inning.
Definitely one of the best catches I've seen all season long. As that one hit over the screen behind home plate, up into the suite level, or maybe on top of the roof, we can't see. Right above us in the press box here at Bethpage Ballpark, as the fans down in the lower bowl concourse waiting for the ball to come back down, but it does not. So count will stay full, 3-2. Infield for Long Island shifted for the pull of a lefty, the 3-2. Again, hit foul left side, out of play.
So Kevin Baez opting to go with one of his starters, Billy Buckner, first relief appearance of the season. And if all goes well, despite that rude greeting from David Vidal, it should be a longer relief appearance as he enters here in the top of the 5th.
Into the windup, kicks and deals, the 3-2, hit out into center field, going back Delta Cleary Jr., sprinting onto the warning track, looking up at the wall, reaches up, does he make the grab? He does! Very nice catch from Delta Cleary Jr. So Michael Burgess in the bottom of the fourth goes and makes that spectacular dive and grab. Well, Long Island comes back with one in the row, maybe not quite as flashy, but Delta Cleary Jr. tracks down a long fly ball to deep right center field, right in front of the P.C. Richard & Sons sign, and reaches up and makes the grab for out number one.
Yeah, what made that really memorable was Delta Cleary just sprinting back, but almost like a gazelle. He didn't go all out.
He makes a lot of those catches look very easy. That is the one thing you notice about Delta Cleary Jr.
Yeah, just kind of gliding back there and got there in time. Seemed like there was no problem at all. Knew where the wall was. Made just a really terrific catch.
So one away, and Greg Hopkins, 1 for 2 on the night, has a double, is the batter. Count 0-1 as Billy Buckner tries to work around that leadoff solo homer, in the inning at least, from David Vidal. One away, no one else on. Infield at normal depth, the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Goes after the slider off the outside edge. Very nice pitch from Buckner. And the count is 0-2. Buckner in his first season with Long Island, 6 years of MLB experience. The 0-2. Check swing, another off-speed pitch, bounces way further in the dirt this time. No look for a check swing. Dan Corey goes and blocks the ball, so the count 1-2. Billy with the Royals in 2007. The Diamondbacks from 2008 to 2010 with the Angels in 13, and last year, fresh off their defeat of the New York Mets today in a 6.5-hour debacle, the San Diego Padres. Curveball on the outside corner, a called strike 3, and Greg Hopkins is down looking 2 away in the top of the 5th.
Overall, that's the 6th strikeout for Duck pitching and the first registered by Billy Buckner. And we have some of the numbers for the starter, Darren Downs, that we'll give to you in a moment. Not one of his better outings, although it started out nicely with 2 innings of hitless ball, but kind of came apart after that.
Buckner facing Robert Andino. 2 away, fastball too far inside, off the inside corner. Count 1-0. Andino with a walk and a run scored last inning in the 4th. 1-0 from Buckner, off-speed pitch, backhanded by Dan Corey, the catcher. Count 2-0.
So 4 innings pitched for Darren Downs, 7 hits given up, 6 runs surrendered, all earned. Struck out 5, walked 2. There were a couple of wild pitches there. 82 pitches overall, 47 for strikes.
2-0 fastball from Buckner. Hits the outside black, and the count is 2-1. And you're right, David, through the first 2. 4 downs, things were looking up. Only just 1 walk, otherwise faced the minimum. And then things started to unravel in the 3rd. Didn't get much better in the 4th. And another run for Somerset here in the 5th. 3 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th, 1 here in the 5th frame so far. Count 3-1 to Robert Andino. Billy Buckner into his windup. The righty comes home with it. Chopped foul up the left field line. Dead ball, so another full count offering will be coming up from Billy Buckner. Ducks trail by 6, 7-1. Due up in the bottom of the inning for Long Island is the top of the order. Lentini, Lyons, and Cleary Jr. Buckner into his windup. The 3-2 is again chopped foul behind home plate off the end of the bat. Do it again. Buckner acquired in the middle of the season. Went right into that starting role. Has started in Somerset as well. The 3-2. Hit off the end of the bat again, and foul behind home plate into the suite level here at Bethpage Ballpark. We'll have another full count pitch. Official attendance for this evening's ball game, 4,911 fans in attendance here at the Duck Pond, despite all of the rain and nasty weather that came through the region prior to first pitch. The 3-2 from Buckner is a jam shot into center field. It will fall past Dan Lyons and in front of Delta Cleary Jr., a base hit for the Somerset shortstop, Robert Andino.
Yeah, we talked about all the hits that Darren Downs surrendered off the end of a bat. That one was
in on the bat.
In on the bat, very close to the heel, inside the label, if you will. And he just fisted that one to center field. So Ducks can't buy a break here, even though that one not hit hard. It's just where it was hit. So Andino's a The Ducks just trying out, already trailing by 6.
So now Nate Spears will be the batter. Was originally your second. The right fielder. Vinny Zerillo moved to center. Burgess out into left. Garcia Reyes at second defensively for Somerset. First pitch from Buckner is a fastball. Called strike on the outside edge. Count 0-1. Spears 0 for 2 on the night, has struck out. He was looking against Darren Downs. The 0-1. Roped right side, foul. Into the stands. It actually bounces off some seats and back out onto the field, and Phelan Lentini, the Ducks right fielder, will have to go and retrieve it. Make sure it ends up as a souvenir. There's the flip. So count 0-2 with 2 away. Sandino off of first. Randy Ruiz holds him on. On deck is Jose Garcia Reyes. 9 hits as a team now for the Pats. The 0-2 is a fastball up and out of the zone. Count 1-2. It's not, I haven't seen this often where Long Island has trailed by this many runs this early in the game, I would say, throughout the season. It's not happened very often as Spears hits one high in the air, left side, and foul. Out of play. If anything, for a majority of the year, I would say it's been Long Island in the position of being ahead by this many runs this early.
Well, yeah, take a look at the team batting totals. Long Island, which has cooled off in the second half due to all the changes in personnel, but Ducks still batting .280 as a team,
right.
number one by a wide margin.
And they have shown game in and game out, no matter what, no deficit is too much for them to overcome.
Exactly.
So this is really nothing in the grand scheme of things. The 7-1 lead for Somerset as the 1-2 is bounced in the dirt, and Buckner takes a second to compose himself. Had his hands on his knees for a moment. Hunched over. Looks okay.
Well, this is one of your immovable objects and irresistible forces, or however that expression goes, because you got the Ducks, collective .280, number one in team batting. Somerset Patriots with an ERA of 2.53 as a team. So you got the best pitching team against the best hitting team. And Ducks are number 2 in pitching, but more than half a run more per game. So it's Somerset usually winning those close ones.
The 2-2 from Buckner. Curveball, swing and a miss. Down and in the zone, and Nate Spears swings over it for out number 3. However, the Somerset Patriots tack on another run here in the 5th. 2 hits altogether in the frame. A solo shot is the highlight. David Vidal, the 3-hitter and first baseman for the Pats, makes it a 7-1 contest as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Long Island Ducks will come up to bat when we return.
Hey fans, this is Bud Harrelson, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 103.9 LI News Radio.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Start by attending a free MCU home buying seminar. Then speak with one of our loan specialists who will guide you through the loan process. With an affordable mortgage from Municipal Credit Union, Home Sweet Home will be a little sweeter. Call 212-238-3521 or visit nymcu.org to apply for your mortgage today. Municipal Credit Union. Strong, trusted, growing. Municipal Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender.
Take your group out to the ball game this season and enjoy all the fun of Ducks baseball at discounted prices with the Hebrew National Picnic Area, luxury suites, the Smokin' Owls Party Deck, the Trout Town Fan Can, and so much more. Bringing your group to the game will be an unforgettable experience. The Ducks even offer opportunities to sing the national anthem, serve as the Ridgewood Savings Bank color guard, be the Nicolak Dream Team, put on a pregame performance, or shag fly balls during Ducks batting practice. To book your outing today, call 631-940-3825 and ask for the group sales department. Long Island Ducks Baseball. Good times every time.
We are back at Bethpage Ballpark. David Wise, Chris Buckley, and the Somerset Patriots, and their skipper Brett Jody going to the bullpen as well here in inning number 5. So both starters went 4 tonight. And facing the Ducks in the bottom of the 5th will be the very tall right-hander, 6'4" from Mesa, Arizona, Kyler Newby. Some numbers on Kyler Newby. To this point in the season, 31 appearances, all in relief. 33 innings pitched, 31 hits given up. Has struck out 25, walked 12, given up 18 earned runs, an ERA of 4.91. Kyler Newby replacing the starter, R.J. Seidel, here against the Ducks, going to the bottom of the fifth, and the Ducks trailing 7-1.
And we will give you the out-of-town scoreboard update in a moment. Final line for R.J. Seidel, a guy who, again, has not started very often this year, has mainly been a reliever, but got the spot start today and was about as efficient as you could expect, especially against the Long Island offense. 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He did walk 3, struck out 2, faced 18 batters in his start against Long Island. Phelan Lentini now hitting just 545. Wow, talk about a drop. 600 to 545 in 1 at bat. What's he doing out there now?
It's like
just kidding.
softball and the king in his court. That's
1 for 2 on the day. So he bats here to lead things off in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch from Newby is a fastball off the outside edge, and the count is 1-0.
Yeah, you know you're going well when you go 1 for 2 and your average drops.
Right. Very, very true. So count 1-0. Newby works from the stretch. Comes home with the next pitch. Fastball upstairs, 2-0. Every other team in the Atlantic League in action this evening. In the MLB, the trade deadline looms. Dan Lyons on deck for the Ducks. Another fastball upstairs from Newby. Lentini watches it go by, so the count now 3-0. Lentini hitting from the right side of the plate. Doubled and scored the lone Long Island run in this contest so far. That was back in the first inning, and the following 3 frames, Long Island has not put up another run. The 3-0, Lentini with the bat down at his waist already by the time the pitch was coming through the zone, takes it for a strike, 3-1. You talk about taking all the way. That's exactly what you saw there. So 3-1.
Ducks need base runners.
They absolutely do. And who else? Hits one up the middle. Should be playable for Andino. He can't get there. Reaches over. Maybe would have had the shoestring grab, but was not able to put a glove on it. So another single. Another hit for Phelan Lentini. He's 2 for 3 on the night.
Yep, hit that one over a spin like a tennis forehand. It just jumped into center field.
The way it initially hit the ground, I thought Andino may have had just enough time to come up there, going up the middle and maybe put a glove on it, but was not able to do so. And who knows, Lentini probably would have beat it out anyway with all of his speed.
He could beat out anything.
So the batter's Dan Lyons, hitting second tonight for Kevin Baez, playing shortstop as always, wearing number 12. Lentini off of first. First pitch fastball, right on the outside corner from Newby, count 0-1. Dan is 0 for 2 on the night, has flown out to center, both times up.
And has flied out twice, very deep to center, both times.
Newby set at the letters. Lentini, 2.5 step lead, not going. Chopped left side and foul by about a foot down the left field line toward the Smokin' Owls party deck, and the count is 0-2 to Lions. So obviously 7-1 the score here as Long Island trails by 6, bottom of the 5th inning at Bethpage Ballpark. Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The Barnstormers lead the Bridgeport Bluefish right now 3-2. So if Bridgeport loses today and Somerset wins,
leapfrog.
The Patriots will go ahead by half a game.
Yep, a little leapfrog right back into first.
The 0-2 from Newby. Checks on Lentini, not going. Hit right to the shortstop. Andino could be 2. The flip to second in time. Garcia-Reyes' throw to first is not in time. It bounces off the glove of David Vidal and into the photographer's well. So Dan Lyons will move up to second base. However, there is 1 out as Lentini on the throw from Andino to Garcia-Reyes.
And I assume you have an error to the second baseman.
Absolutely, and it's put up right there. So Garcia-Reyes charged with the error. Lentini is retired 6-4, as I said. Lyons reaches on the fielder's choice and then advances on the E4.
Well, any comeback starts with that first run across. The Ducks do have a runner in scoring position and need to get him home somehow.
Delta Cleary Jr. hitting from the left side, the switch hitter. Faces the righty Newby here. Is the batter with 1 away. First pitch is a fastball low and in for a ball, 1-0. Bottom of the 8th at Campbell's Field in Camden. The River Sharks trail the Sugarland Skeeters 3-1. And bottom of the 7th at Regency Furniture Stadium, Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, the home team, leading the York Revolution 3-1. We'll take a look at the MLB in a moment. The 1-0 is golf to the second baseman Garcia Reyes, stays down on the short hop, fields it cleanly, and throws to David Vidal for out number 2. Dan Lyons goes from second to third. So Cleary Jr. down 4-3. So 2 away, and the batter is Randy Ruiz, who is 1 for 2. Flew out in his last at-bat and singled in his first at-bat back in the first inning. That's from the Randy, hitting .333 so far in his second go-around with Long Island. 2 outs, lines off of third. Newby's first pitch fastball way up high and out of the zone for a ball. 1-0 the count. Bottom of the 4th in Texas, the New York Yankees lead the Texas Rangers 5-4. CC Sabathia on the mound for the Yanks in that one. The 1-0 from Newby is a fastball on the inside corner, called strike. Count 1-1. 5 runs on 7 hits for the Yanks. Josh Hamilton with a 3-run homer in that one for the Rangers. Be a 1-1 from Newby. Comes home with it. Hit foul, right side off the end of Randy's bat. Up onto the concourse, out of play. Count 1-2. And as for the New York Mets, well, I really don't know how else to put it. I mean, it was just heartbreaking the way that things have been going for them the last two days, from everything from the trades and then today leading 5-1. They lose 8-7. Multiple rain delays.
Yep.
Camp day at Citi Field as Randy Ruiz ropes one out in the left field, but Michael Burgess will settle under it and make the grab for out number 3 to retire the side.
Thankfully, no time to explain how painful.
I guess that's the one positive you can take from that, absolutely. So no runs for the Long Island Ducks in the 5th on 1 hit. No Somerset errors, or 1 Somerset error rather, on the second baseman Garcia Reyes, and 1 left on base. We're through 5 from Bethpage Ballpark. We go to the top of the 6th. The Long Island Ducks trail the Somerset Patriots 7-1.
Hey fans, this is pitcher Patrick Kreider, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 1039 LI News Radio.
The results are in. PSEG Long Island is delivering 99.9% reliability. We got there by strengthening equipment and clearing trees along power lines across our area. And our new outage management system will continue to ensure improved communications and faster restoration. 99.9% reliable. It's one more way we're serving you better. Discover how we're improving every day to bring you better service at www.psegliny.com/reliability.
M&V Limousines is the official bus company of the Long Island Ducks. Family owned and operated, they've been in the business for over 23 years. M&V Limousines offers coach buses with Wi-Fi and restrooms, party buses, exotic limousines, and so much more. Whether you're looking for transportation for weddings, proms, corporate outings, or long-distance trips, they've got the right vehicle for you. Visit their showroom in Comac or check them out online at mvlimo.com. M&V Limousines, the official bus company of the Long Island Ducks.
Hey, Duck fans, you can follow all season long as the Long Island Ducks try to meet the Chappie's Home Run Challenge. If the Ducks hit 100 home runs, Chappie's Funeral Homes will donate $5,000 to the Quackerjack Foundation. Chappie's Funeral Homes is their family tradition. The Ducks have 58 home runs, so they're more than halfway to that goal.
First pitch from Billy Buckner to Jose Garcia Reyes is hit sky high left side of the field and up into the stands for a foul ball. So the count 0-1. Long Island trailing by 6 right now in the top of the 6th inning. 7-1 is our score. 7 runs on 9 hits with 1 error for the Pats. 1 run on 5 hits, no errors for Long Island so far, who right now have struggled to move runners around the base paths and get them in so far. I mean, 5 hits through 5 innings is not too bad, but Long Island just unable to convert on their chances with runners in scoring position so far. The 1-1 is off the outside corner, so 2-1 to Garcia Reyes as Billy Buckner working his second inning of relief in place of Duck starter Darren Downs.
And yes, you heard right. Billy Buckner is pitching to Jose Reyes.
Ball hit high in the air to left field. Brian Sabatella ranges back just in front of the warning track. Has to take a quick step to his left at the last second, but is able to hold on and squeeze the baseball for out number 1.
So, yes, we qualify what we just said by explaining this is not the same Billy Buckner, who would be a little long in the tooth to be playing in this league.
That would be incredible.
It would be, but then again, he shouldn't have been in there in Game 6 at the end either. But that's another story for another time with the Red Sox and Mets in 1986. As for Jose Reyes, this is not the same Jose Garcia Reyes playing for the Somerset Patriots, but a lot of familiar names do pop up in this league.
Billy Buckner's Twitter handle, not that BB.
And I would have the same one, wouldn't you?
I think so. Adam Donahue, the catcher, 2 for 2 on the night. The 1-0 is off the outside corner. 2-0. Donahue singled and scored in the third. Doubled, drove in 2, and scored in the fourth. Has raised his average from 192 to 203.
That's a very productive evening.
That 2-0 fastball, a called strike on the outside corner. 2-1. 1 away, no one on. Somerset with the comfortable lead right now. Buckner steps off and will regroup. So we'll wrap this game up. And then a 4-game set with the Bridgeport Bluefish coming up for the Long Island Ducks. After they were just swept across the Sound, Donahue rockets one right to the third baseman, Cody Puckett. Low throw to Randy Ruiz at first, but Randy, with the stretch, is able to hold on. And there's
a good play on both ends. Cody Puckett staying with that ground ball that stayed down, and a good play at first base as well. You mentioned the 4-game series against Bridgeport, where the Ducks can do some serious damage here and climb right back into it in the second half by taking 3 out of 4, maybe even sweeping. And it ends with one of my favorite things each year. That's the Camp Day special. That's on Monday. That's going to be great. That's late morning right here at Bethpage Ballpark.
Have an early start time that day. First pitch to Thomas Neal is a called strike. Billy Buckner ahead 0-1, and Long Island with a really tough series across the Sound this last weekend at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Count 0-2 now to Neal. Ducks get swept by the Bluefish, but with a chance for some revenge.
A little payback.
Back home, starting tomorrow, going through Monday, and as you mentioned, Camp Day to cap things off here at the Duck Pond.
The crowd during Camp Day, loud and higher pitched than you would normally expect at a Duck game. And, of course, a lot of quackers. Everybody, all the campers.
Not a surprise.
Those quackers are going berserk.
Gotta love the quackers.
A lot of fun. I'll tell you, growing up, if the Ducks had existed when I was in camp growing up, whatever, this would be just a wonderful, wonderful day.
Really is great. The 1-2 is rolled over to the shortstop, Dan Lyons. Easy play, plenty of time. Up with it to Randy Ruiz, and it's in time to retire these sides. So Neal goes down 6-3. A 1-2-3 inning. First time since the second for Long Island pitching, and Billy Buckner gets through the 6th, 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Long Island comes up, trailing by 6, 7-1 in favor of Somerset when we come back.
Hey fans, this is outfielder Eric Kamatsu, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 103.9 LI News Radio.
James Simmons is going back. He is looking up, and on in the park night, that one is gone and reaches a kennel in Central Islip.
That was another home run for the Ducks. And Duck fans, what's more fun than a home run that helps the Ducks win a game? How about a homer that helps the community win? Chappie's Funeral Home and the Long Island Ducks have once again teamed up for the Chappie's Home Run Challenge. If the Ducks hit 100 homers this season, Chappie's Funeral Home will donate $5,000 to the Quackerjack Foundation. So every time a Ducks hitter goes deep this season, watch for the Chappie's Challenge home run count on the scoreboard. And if we reach 100, we're all a winner. Chappie's Funeral Home, where caring for others is a family tradition.
Can't get enough of the Long Island Ducks? Well, now you can get even more inside info on your favorite hometown team through Facebook and Twitter. The Ducks are constantly updating fans through social media with scores, transactions, ballpark promotions, and much more. You can even win great prizes. All you'll need to do is make a free account on Facebook and Twitter, and then visit us at facebook.com/LIDucks and twitter.com/LIDucks. Think you're Long Island's biggest Ducks fan? Get connected now.
Back at Bethpage Ballpark, David Weiss, Chris Buckley, Somerset Patriots, Long Island Ducks here at the Duck Pond. Ducks have some time, but as Yogi Berra once said, it gets late early. And it's the bottom of the sixth, Ducks trailing 7-1. We mentioned before the break that the Ducks open up a 4-game series against the front-running Bridgeport Bluefish that starts tomorrow night. Another one Saturday night, late Sunday afternoon, and then Monday, the 11:05 Camp Day Matinee. 3 ways to get your Duck tickets: Bethpage Ballpark box office, online, liducks.com, or via the Ducks mobile app, or by calling 631-940-T.
The bottom of the sixth, and trailing by 6, 7-1 Somerset right now. Second pitch from Kyler Newby, working his second inning of relief to Cody Puckett, is chopped foul left side, so the count 0-2. Brian Sabatella on deck. Cody, right now 0 for 1 in the game, flew out to right field in his last at-bat and walked in the first. 5 hits as a team for Long Island so far. Trying to slowly chip away at the 6-run deficit. The 0-2 is off the outside edge. Ball 1, count 1-2. So Darren Downs goes the first 4 innings, and then Billy Buckner comes in and pitches the next 2 for Long Island in the 5th and 6th. So you wonder who will come next. 7-1 lead for Somerset as Puckett rips one through the hole and into left field. A base hit, so he's aboard with his first hit of the evening. Leadoff runner aboard for the Ducks, and that's how you get it started. Brian Sabatella will come up, single in his last at-bat as well. 6 hits altogether for Long Island now.
Yeah, Ducks had their opportunity, especially in the 4th inning when they got a couple of men on with only 1 out. Were unable to cash in and turn that into any runs. And in the 5th, Fade Lantini led off with a single up the middle. But that didn't lead to anything either. Ducks have to just take it 1 batter at a time, 1 run at a time.
Puckett off of first. First pitch to Brian Sabatella is in the lefty's batter's box for a ball, count 1-0. Brian again singling in that last at-bat. Struck out swinging in the first. Average currently at 289. 1-0. Check swing, but it's a called strike anyway. Fastball off the outside part of the plate, but on the corner. Count 1-1.
And that's the advantage relievers have with a 6-run lead. No reason not to be around the plate.
Pretty much the message, throw strikes.
Right.
It's usually what is really all that's required at this stage of a game with a 6-run advantage already in the 6th inning. That pitch was inside Brian, taken for a ball, so it'd be a 2-1 from Newside for ball 3. 3-1, so if Sabatella can get aboard, then you have the masher, Steve McQuail, standing in the on-deck circle. We know what he can do to a baseball. The 3-1 is hit out into right field. Will it fall? It will, right in front of Nate Spears for a bloop single. And Brian Sabatella is aboard at first base, and Cody Puckett moves up to second. So no one out. Runners at first and second. Second straight single for Brian Sabatella. Back-to-back singles for the Ducks to lead off the bottom of the 6th. And Steve McQuail, who's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. His first walk as a Long Island Duck is the batter here with runners at first and second.
McQuail is playing in his 13th game. With that single, his average back above 200. But remember, again, with the games he's played in and his at-bats, 43, 5 home runs. We know he's got pop, and a long ball would do serious damage here.
First pitch swinging on the slider. Falls off the table in the outside part of the plate, and the count is 0-1.
Even with a 6-run lead, you have to assume Kyler Newby knows all about McQuail's power.
Oh, absolutely. You're not grooving a fastball to him regardless of the 6-run lead here. You're going to be careful here. This is not the situation where you just leave a fastball right over the middle, as there's a fastball low and away. Nice-looking pitch. Late kick at the end, and McQuail swings through it. So the count 0-2.
Those 2 swings were home run type cuts for McQuail, who will probably shorten up a bit here, try to make contact. But the Ducks need to do something here with 2 runners on, nobody out.
Dan Corey, the catcher, is on deck. 7 hits now as a team for Long Island, but just the 1 run. 0-2. Bounces in the dirt. Off-speed pitch. Backhanded by Adam Donahue, the catcher. Count 1-2. McQuail, the local guy out of Wantagh. Puckett off of second, Sabatella off of first. Garcia Reyes shaded towards second, but not holding him on completely. The 1-2 fastball is on the outside corner. A called strike 3, and McQuail is down looking, 1 away.
And McQuail stood there at home plate, looked back. Home plate umpire Frank Urilli has a delayed way of calling a third strike, kind of back. That makes a gesture.
And you can tell by the box, verbally, he says the batter knows that they're out, but for us to actually know that it's strike 3, it takes a bit of a...
Yeah, anytime you see an umpire with a delayed move physically, you know he's saying right away to let the batter know.
Right. So 1 away. Dan Corey, 0 for 2 with a walk tonight, is the batter. Fastball off the outside corner from Newby, count 1-0. Corey beginning the year with the Lancaster Barnstormers. Came over to the Long Island Ducks. Getting his first start of this series. The 1-0 from Newby. Hit high in the air, foul territory. Vidal, the first baseman, ranges across the right field line, reaches out and makes the grab. Cody Puckett not able to tag up from second, and there are 2 outs and the runners have not advanced. Blake Davis will be the batter.
Now in a closer game, you would think that Cody Puckett might have tried something like that, maybe a little daring, try to tag on a foul ball with Vidal going away from home plate. But I tell you, Vidal turned 360, fired 1 bounce right to the third base bag.
He absolutely knew to get that ball to third base as quickly as possible. Cody Puckett actually did dance off of the bag, drew the throw, would have drawn the throw regardless if Vidal had actually turned around and had the wherewithal to actually throw to the bag. But either way, Puckett stays at second. Sabatella at first. Blake Davis hitting from the left side. 0 for 2 on the night is the batter with 2 away. First pitch from Newby, a fastball, a called strike on the outside corner. Count 0-1.
Yeah, this is one of those clutch at-bats for the Long Island Ducks and Blake Davis, bottom of the order. But the Ducks with a long road to travel here to try to climb back in the game. It'll be a fortuitous moment for a base hit.
Matter of fact, Davis in the exact same situation he was in to left field that dove for and came up with on that great grab on the warning track in left field back in the 4th frame.
Yeah, you want to go back tomorrow on the Ducks YouTube channel and go to that inning and take a look at that catch, which was captured beautifully by the cameras upstairs. What a grab.
It'll be 0-2 from Newby. Set at the letters, checks on Puckett, kicks and deals, bounces in front of home plate. Very nice block from Adam Donahue. Keeps the runners exactly where they are. Count 1-2. Phelan Lentini, the leadoff batter, is on deck. So if Davis can keep the train moving here, it would be very interesting to see what happens with Lentini coming to the plate in that situation. Force at third for Somerset as well as second. Newby gets the sign from Donahue, the 1-2. Bounces low and in the zone. For a ball, count 2-2.
You have to assume Kyler Newby is well aware of who's waiting on deck. Lentini so dangerous and 2 for 3 today. Well, Blake Davis something good to hit here. Got to be selective though, because good as anything else here. And bring up Lentini with the bases loaded up.
2 outs for Somerset. Newby comes set again. Runner should be on the move. There they go. The 3-2 is off the outside corner for ball 4. So Blake Davis will trot to first base. The bases will be loaded for Phelan Lentini. And fans, that is another Municipal Credit Union walk with a purpose. Every time a Ducks batter walks, the Quackerjack Foundation wins.
4th walk overall issued to the Ducks here tonight, but the first one since way back in the 2nd inning. But a well-timed walk as far as the Ducks are concerned. Their hottest hitter, maybe the hottest hitter in the United States at the moment. That's not overstating it.
It's really not. It's really not overstating it at all. He very well could be.
And he's at the plate with the bases loaded up. Boy, one swing could turn the...
So Newby will come set. First pitch to Lentini is a fastball way up top above Lentini's head. Count 1-0. So again, there are 2 outs. The Ducks trail by 6. 7-1 is the score. Dan Lyons is on deck. Puckett off third. Sabatella off of second. And Blake Davis, who just drew the base on balls, is off of first. Newbies 1-0. Swing and a miss. Nice looking slider on the outside corner, and Lentini swings over it. So the count even at 1-1.
Yeah, well, Phelan missed, but he's erasing that from memory as he climbs back in.
Hit foul over the screen behind home plate. It'll get up and into the stands. So Newby needing just one more strike to work out of this jam.
Lentini, talk about confidence. With every swing, you can see how disappointed he is that he didn't put the ball in play and hit it hard somewhere. That's how hot he is right now. And mentally, he feels he should succeed every time he's at the plate.
Has a very compact swing. That's the one thing that stands out to me. Just really keeps his hands inside the ball. Not a lot of unnecessary movement. The 1-2 from Newby. Swing and a miss, he got him. Swings over the off-speed pitch, and that'll do it for Long Island in the 6th. So no runs for the Flock on 2 hits, no Somerset errors, and the Ducks leave them loaded. We're through 6 full in Central Islip. It's the Somerset Patriots 7, your Long Island Ducks 1, and the Pats will come up to bat when we come back.
Hey fans, this is Blake Davis, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on 1039 LI News Radio.
Spring into a new Honda. Pay $59 a month on Jericho Turnpike just east of Route 110 or HuntingtonHondaCars.com.
Have your birthday at the ballpark this season and celebrate with the Flock. Kona Ice birthday party packages with the Long Island Ducks are now available. Each package includes 10 box seats, a commemorative birthday t-shirt and autographed baseball, a pizza and Kona Ice party in the Hebrew National Picnic area, and so much more. Best of all, the birthday child will stand on the dugout while the entire crowd sings happy birthday. Reserve your party today by calling the group sales department at 631-940-3825. Kona Ice birthday parties with the Long Island Ducks, a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Welcome back to Bethpage Ballpark. And fans, we do want to remind you to chill out with a cold cup of Hampton Coffee Company. Gourmet iced coffee available at the concession stands at Bethpage Ballpark. Hampton Coffee is the preferred coffee of the Long Island Ducks. Visit HamptonCoffeeCompany.com or visit their cafes in the Hamptons. We go to the top of the 7th. Chris Buckley and David Weiss here with you from Bethpage Ballpark in Central Islip. Again, as always, we thank you for making us a part of your evening entertainment. Billy Buckner is the pitcher once again for Long Island here. 7-1 is our score. Pats on top of the Ducks right now in the top of the 7th inning. 7 runs on 9 hits and an error for the Pats. 1 run on 7 hits, no errors for Long Island so far. The 0-1 is hit to the left side. Short hop to Cody Puckett. Knocks it off the end of his glove, rebounds, and picks up the ricocheted ball and fires to first for out number 1. That was Vinny Zarillo, the center fielder, for out number 1. Smothered the baseball that took a short hop, hit off the heel of his glove, bounced in front of him, and did not rush, did not get too far ahead of himself, just picked up the baseball and fired to first to complete the play for out number 1. David Vidal, who hit a solo homer in his last at-bat in the 5th, is now the batter for Somerset. First pitch from Buckner was off the outside corner. The 1-0 hit out in a shallow center. Delta Cleary Jr. took a step back, now races in and reaches up right above his left shoulder and reaches out to make the grab for out number 2. So 2 quick outs for Billy Buckner here as the Patriots only see a few pitches. So the batter will be number 10, Michael Burgess, who is 0 for 3 on the night. Flew out to right field, center field, and has struck out swinging. Hitting from the left side of the plate. 2-away, no one on. Again, that shift is in effect for the Long Island Ducks on the infield. First pitch from Buckner, fastball in the outside corner, called strike. 0-1.
Two away. Two away.
Two away.
I left the booth for a couple of moments here. You're going to have to update me here, otherwise
Just a few pitches, really not much to talk about. Zerillo grounds out to Cody Puckett at third, 5-3, and David Vidal flies out to Delta Cleary Jr. in center.
I'm all caught up.
There you go. Burgess behind 0-1 on the count. Buckner has the sign from Dan Corey. Comes home with it, bounces in the dirt. Inside part of the plate to the lefty hitting Burgess, and the count even at 1-1. For the Ducks in the bottom of the 7th, it will be Dan Lyons, Delta Cleary Jr., and Randy Ruiz. 2-3-4. 1-1 hack from Burgess. Comes up with nothing. Fastball on the outside part of the plate, and the count is 1-2. Burgess hitting .240 on the season. The 1-2 from Buckner. Chopped foul up the right field line. Count will stay 1-2.
That's nice. We have some young ladies, look like teenagers, in front of us. One of them was taking a selfie, and because of the angle from our booth down to where
Did we
are,
make it?
I was in the selfie.
Nice.
Yes. You didn't get it.
Oh.
I think they'll be very disappointed, considering the two guys here in the booth, that I was the one they did get.
As Michael Burgess goes down swinging, as Billy Buckner gets another strikeout.
All right.
And we are through 6.5 from Bethpage Ballpark. Another 1-2-3 for the former big leaguer. And we go to the bottom of the frame. It's the Somerset Patriots 7 and the Long Island Ducks 1. The Ducks will come up to bat when we come back.
Hey fans, this is Kevin Byers, manager of the Long Island Ducks, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 103.9 LI News Radio.
Hey, Ducks fans, the official hotel of the Long Island Ducks is the Upsky Long Island Hotel in Hauppauge. It's centrally located on the north shore of Long Island and offers a home away from home for both business and leisure guests. The Upsky Long Island Hotel features an indoor pool, 24-hour business center, a fitness center, and complimentary Wi-Fi in all guest rooms. Enjoy the contemporary American cuisine at the Fountain Grill restaurant or grab a quick bite to eat at Cafe Pronto. Best of all, it's only minutes from Bethpage Ballpark. The Upsky Long Island Hotel, the official hotel of the Long Island Ducks. Call 231-1100 today. That's 631-231-1100.
Family fun every time.
Beautiful evening for baseball.
Big action every time.
He reaches up. It's gone!
Great value every time.
And the Ducks have won it 7-1.
The Ducks schedule is loaded with new promotions this season, and with an average ticket price of just $10 and free parking, there is no better value on Long Island. For game times and tickets, visit liducks.com. Long Island Ducks Baseball. Good times every time.
Hey fans, this is right-handed pitcher Frank DiGiulio, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 103.9 LI News Radio.
Few places on earth offer the charm and excitement of Fire Island. At Fire Island Ferries, located conveniently at 99 Maple Avenue in Bay Shore, they offer convenient travel to Fire Island 7 days a week. Fire Island is quickly becoming a top destination for families of all ages. Experience the informal, carefree communities, the dazzling night scene, enjoy fine dining, or climb to the top of one of the tallest lighthouses in the United States. But there's only one way to get there, by calling Fire Island Ferries at 631-665-3600 today. For fare and scheduling information, please visit fireislandferries.com.
Welcome back to Bethpage Ballpark. 7-1 is our score, and unfortunately not in favor of your Long Island Ducks. It's the Somerset Patriots with the 6-run advantage right now. Another pitching change to tell you about for the Pats, but first let's pause 5 seconds for station identification. Seven runs on 9 hits and an error for the Pats. 1 run on 7 hits, no errors for Long Island thus far. And the new pitcher for the Somerset Patriots is number 12, Daniel Sattler, right-hander, who comes in 6'3", 190 pounds out of Burnsville, Minnesota. I'll get you his numbers on the season in a moment. comes in with a pretty decent advantage right now, 6 runs. And David, I think you have Daniel Sattler's numbers so far.
Sattler making his 30th appearance, all in relief. 28 2/3 innings pitched. Has given up just 12 hits and 8 earned runs, an ERA of 2.51, has struck out 38, walked 19, and again, with an ERA of just over 2.5. Daniel Sattler, third pitcher used by the Somerset Patriots. Sattler in relief of Newby, who came in the 5th in relief of R.J. Seidel, the starter in this game. And the Ducks have some major work to do. Speaking of major, a choral group known as Major Treble with a wonderful job with God Bless America during the 7th inning stretch. If you're here at the ballpark and you happen to bring a radio along, it's worth it that we are talking about them because they were a real treat. It's just something that's become a staple at ballparks, major and minor league across the country, and they just did a wonderful job.
So Dan Lyons will be the batter, bottom of the 7th. First pitch fastball from Sattler is inside. Sattler wearing number 12. Dan so far in the game is 0 for 3, grounded into a fielder's choice in his last plate appearance, and that fastball again on the outside corner, but Dan swings through it. Count even at 1-1. Ducks trying to make up 6 runs in 3 innings. So they have 9 outs, try to get 6 runs. That one off the glove of Adam Donahue, but Lyons swung through it. So it's a strike, count 1-2. It'll be Lyons, Cleary Jr., and Randy Ruiz. 2-3-4 for the Flock, who had runners at every base last inning, bases loaded. But Valentini struck out swinging to end the frame. Fastball the zone from Sattler. Lyons watches it go by for a ball, count 2-2.
Yeah, it's true. The Ducks had an opportunity in the 4th inning with 2 runners on, 1 man out. 2 on, nobody out in the 6th, then bases loaded with 2 outs and nothing across.
2-2, hit high in the air, right side, foul territory, actually might stay in fair territory. Nate Spears settles under it, and about a step away from the foul line makes the grab for out number 1. That ball was drifting and drifting further and further toward the line, but Spears, who started the game at second base, was able to hold on for the grab. So Delta Cleary Jr. will be the batter. Sattler, a guy that throws a fastball, a slider, a curveball, changeup, and a 2-seamer. Split time last year in the American Association with St. Paul and Wichita was 3-4 with a 1.84 ERA in 40 games. He pitched 44 innings, walked 35 guys, and struck out 60. And perhaps one of the more interesting things about him was roommates in 2011 at the University of Miami with Ryan Braun.
How about that?
At the U. 31 years old. 46th round out of Purdue University in 2006, but began college at the University of Miami, and that was when he roomed with Ryan Braun. So very interesting. Sattler works from the stretch. The 0-2 to Cleary Jr. Golfed out to left field. That might fall if it stays fair. It does. Inside the line. Cleary Jr. rounds first. He's going to try for 2 as Burgess and the third baseman Greg Hopkins can't pick up the baseball. So it is a double for Delta Cleary Jr., and the Long Island Ducks have a runner in scoring position.
You used the perfect adjective and verb. It was a golf swing and a golf shot to the left field line that looked like
a pitching wedge.
Well, pitching wedge, maybe a 9-iron, considering how far it went, but that's it. And it had a little spin on it. And corralling it there right on the left field foul line.
I think he was about 110 yards out of the pin.
Yeah, that'd be a 9-iron for me. For you? Probably just a simple wedge. Ooh.
And Randy gets hit on an up-and-in fastball from Sattler.
And that was right on the hands.
On the hand. I'm not sure if just judging by how quickly that ball ricocheted toward the Ducks dugout, I have a feeling that actually hit part of the knob of the bat as well as his hand.
Right.
I don't think that only hit his hand because he'd be in a lot more pain. He's actually okay. Dottie Pitchford, the team trainer, will come out and try to take a look at Randy, but he waves her back. He says he's okay. So that just even more proves the point that I think that hit a majority of the knob of the bat, and Randy's going to stay and hit. So he's not even going to be awarded a hit by pitch here. He's going to keep hitting, and it's a strike.
Yeah, but that hurt nonetheless.
Absolutely. So because the ball hit the bat, it is a strike. 0-1 the count. Cleary Jr. off of second. That one bounces away from the catcher. Donahue goes to the backstop, and Delta Cleary Jr. will move up 90 feet. He goes to third. So I have to think that that's probably going to be a wild pitch.
Yep. Not much of a chance for me to get his full mitt on away. Delta Cleary now at third. And look, the Ducks have launched a few memorable comebacks in their history. If they're going to do it here tonight, be nice to get this run home at third with less than 2 out.
1-1 again bounces in the dirt, and a beautiful backhanded stop by Adam Donahue to prevent the run from scoring. So the count 2-1. And David, I believe the Ducks, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, scored 7 runs in an inning in the 7th earlier this year to come back and win. So we know what they can do in situations where they are trailing by 6 runs, score 7, and come back and go ahead by 1. They've done it before.
That was a winning inning Wednesday, by the way.
Yes, it was.
That meant $10,000 to that lucky Duck fan in the stands.
2-1 is hit foul right side up into the stands.
So that was very good on your part to take that from your memory bank, Chris.
I tried.
7 innings and a 7-run 7th. So the Ducks would settle for just a couple here to get within striking distance with Ruiz at the plate.
1 out. 2-2 count. Cleary Jr. off of third. Sattler comes home. Swing and a miss. Randy Ruiz goes after the off-speed pitch. Out like a slider from the right-hander, and there's 2 away.
I think the Ducks could probably use a little patience at the plate to see if Sattler does have full control. I mean, he has prone to walking batters at times and can lose the plate, but in this case, 2 outs. Cleary Jr. on third base. Cody Puckett with a very good eye at the plate. And we'll see if he can bring Delta home.
Cleary Jr. 90 feet away. He'd be Long Island's second run. Sattler has a sign, comes set. First pitch swinging is Puckett. And that ball in the glove already. Count 0-1. That was a very big cut from the Ducks' third baseman.
Yeah, he was trying to make it 7-3 on one swing.
Right. Sabatella on deck for the flock. Be no one from Sattler. Left leg up, swing and a miss. Puckett goes after the up and in fastball that time. So Sattler has Puckett's number, literally, through the first 2 pitches, wearing number 2. Count 0-2 with 2 outs.
There you go.
Cody singled in the 6th, the last inning, has also walked in, flew out to right field, was on third base with the bases loaded when Lentini struck out. This one bounces away. It skips away from Adam Donahue. Delta Cleary Jr. will cruise into home plate, touch home, and will go into the Ducks dugout as the second run of the ballgame. It's 7-2 now in favor of the Stars.
Field line to Delta Cleary Jr., but there have been 2 wild pitches, and that allowed Delta to come all the way home.
So for Delta Cleary Jr., his 34th run scored of the season. That one, another one that goes to the backstop from Daniel Sattler, and the count is 2-2. We literally have 2s across the board. Cody Puckett, number 2, is at the plate. 2-2 count, 2 out, and the Ducks have 2 runs. They trail by 5, no one on here, so Sattler not in danger of advancing anyone into scoring position or anything of that sort. Sabatella waits patiently on deck. Check swing, slider on the outside corner. No, it's a ball. Very close pitch.
Home plate umpire Frank, you really took a long look at that, but let it go. So now a full count.
The entire Somerset infield had actually started to go back toward the bench already.
They all took a step toward the dugout.
3-2. Hit high in the air, center field. Now it drifts into right center field. Zerillo ranges into the gap, reaches up, and squeezes it to retire the side. So Cody Puckett flies out to center to end the frame, but the Long Island Ducks tack on their second run of the game on 1 hit. It was a double from Delta Cleary Jr., no Somerset errors, and no one left on base for the Long Island Ducks. We are through 7 full from the Duck Pond. We go to the top of the 8th. It's the Somerset Patriots 7 and the Long Island Ducks 2.
Hey fans, this is first baseman John Griffin, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
Few places on earth offer the charm and excitement of Fire Island. At Fire Island Ferries, located conveniently at 99 Maple Avenue in Bay Shore, they offer convenient travel to Fire Island 7 days a week. Fire Island is quickly becoming a top destination for families of all ages. Experience the informal, carefree communities, the dazzling night scene, enjoy fine dining, or climb to the top of one of the tallest lighthouses in the United States. But there's only one way to get there, by calling Fire Island Ferries at 631-665-3600 today. For fare and scheduling information, please visit fireislandferries.com.
Hey Ducks fans, stay up to date with Long Island's hometown team by visiting Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks. Quack of the Bat will bring Ducks fans beyond the headlines with in-depth feature articles, breaking news stories, game previews, post-game wrap-ups, and so much more. Interact with the team during the entire season through quotes directly from the players and coaches, as well as exclusive video clips and photos. Check out the blog today at quackofthebat.wordpress.com. Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks.
Welcome back to Bethpage Ballpark. We go to the top of the 8th inning. And fans, we do want to remind you that if you want frequent updates on team transactions, scores, store specials, and the status of upcoming games, and you should follow the Long Island Ducks on Twitter at twitter.com/LIDucks. With Twitter, the faithful flock will also be able to follow their Ducks and find out more information regarding nightly promotions, player signings, league activities, and more. The Ducks are tweeting right now, and you can follow along at twitter.com/LIDucks. Top of the 8th, 7-2 is our score. The Somerset Patriots lead the Long Island Ducks. Chris Buckley, and now for the final 2 innings, taking over the play-by-play duties once again is my partner, David Weiss.
Thank you, Chris Buckley. Greg Hopkins at the plate. The count is 2-1. Billy Buckner working in his 4th inning of relief, making his first relief appearance of the season, and he strikes out Greg Hopkins on 4 pitches for the Long Island Ducks. And Chris, you can check my math, take a look at your own scorecard. I believe they have 9 strikeouts here tonight, and that's the 4th for Billy Buckner. Robert Andino now coming to the plate, batting from the right side against the right-hander, Buckner. Andino is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored, scoring a run in one of those 3-run innings in the 4th inning for Somerset. First pitch is skips to the plate, off-speed pitch, 1 ball and no strikes to Andino, who also singled up the middle. Back in the 5th, Ducks trailing 7-2, top of inning number 8, 7 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for Somerset. Ducks 2 runs, they have 8 hits, have not committed an error. Outside corner, good pitch by Buckner, strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. With 1 down, nobody on.
And David, you would be correct, 9 strikeouts for Long Island Ducks pitching, 5 for starter Darren Downs, and now 4 for Billy Buckner.
Buckner kicks and deals the 1-1. Big looping curveball lands just inside. So it's 2-1 to Robert Andino. It's the rubber game of 3 with the Somerset Patriots. Pats took the opener of this series here at Bethpage Ballpark. Ducks beat the Patriots last night 4-2, come from behind fashion. Tonight, Ducks had an early 1-0 lead going to the top of the 3rd, but it's been mostly Somerset since. Ducks scoring a run in the bottom of the 7th. But Somerset had already jumped out to a 7-1 lead. There's a fly ball deep right field. Going back is Phelan Lantini at the warning track and makes the catch for the 2nd out.
Phelan Lantini has seen a ton of fly balls out there this evening in right field off the bats, I should say, of Somerset Patriots batters. He's been running all over the place.
And Lantini with his speed, of course, just some of what he does well, which is basically everything. Plays a great right field. Nate Spears at the plate now. He is 0 for 3, has struck out twice, sandwiched around a pop out. So 2 out, nobody on, and the pitch by Buckner. First pitch swinging. Spears puts it in the air. Dan Lyons at shortstop behind the second place bag and makes the catch. Very quickly for Billy Buckner. 3 up and 3 down, nothing across. We go to the bottom of the 8th here at Bethpage Ballpark. Score remains Somerset 7, the Ducks 2.
Hey fans, this is right-handed pitcher Frank DiGiulio, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 1039 LI News Radio.
Beautify your patio, walkway, driveway, or pool surround with Nicoloc paving stones and walls. Nicoloc's specially formulated paver shield offers extra surface wear protection and color enhancement throughout the thickness of the paver. Paver shield guarantees that your pavers will look great for years to come. Bring home the elegance with Nicoloc. Visit the Nicoloc Design Center, Sunrise Highway, Lindenhurst, or nicoloc.com.
Let Nicoloc Pavers pave your way.
M&V Limousines is the official bus company of the Long Island Ducks. Family owned and operated, they've been in the business for over 23 years. M&V Limousines offers coach buses with Wi-Fi and restrooms, party buses, exotic limousines, and so much more. Whether you're looking for transportation for weddings, proms, corporate outings, or long-distance trips, they've got the right vehicle for you. Visit their showroom in Comac or check them out online at mvlimo.com. M&V Limousines, the official bus company of the Long Island Ducks.
Back here at Bethpage Ballpark, Chris Buckley, David Weiss. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 7-2 our score. The Somerset Patriots on top of the Long Island Ducks. Another new pitcher for Brett Jody's Somerset Patriots squad, and the new hurler is right-hander, number 33, Andrew Carrigan. 5'11", 235 pounds, out of Connecticut, who comes in to this ball game with a 5-run lead. And on the year, get you the numbers for the right-handed reliever. And David, I believe you have them there.
I've got them here. Let's see. Mr. Carrigan making his 32nd appearance of the season here tonight. All in relief, 31 1/3 innings pitched. Has given up 22 hits, 15 earned runs, an ERA of 4.31. He struck out 35 and has walked 18. Andrew Carrigan, the fourth pitcher of the game used by skipper Brett Jody for the Somerset Patriots. And again, with a healthy lead, you can do this, piece it together after you get that spot start from R.J. Seidel. So they're looking for Carrigan to at least get through the 8th, and then when the 9th gets here, they can make a decision then. So it'll be Sabatella, McQuail, and Dan Curry, number 6, 7, and 8 in the Ducks order, to face Carrigan here in the bottom of the 8th. Ducks trailing 7-2. They did scratch a run across on a couple of wild pitches following a double down the left field line by Delta Cleary Jr. in the bottom of the 7th. So Ducks trail by 5. Yes, they've got some work to do, but not exactly what you'd call insurmountable. Brian Sabatella at the plate has had a good night. He's 2 for 3, couple of singles, takes a fastball inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Struck out in the first inning, single to right in the 4th, a bloop single to right in the 6th. Standing with his crouch from the right side of the plate, and this righty-righty matchup takes another strike on the inside corner. So very quickly, 0-2 to Sabatella from Andrew Carrigan.
And every other game in the league is final right now. Most importantly, the Bridgeport Bluefish have fallen to the Lancaster Barnstormers 4-3 at Clipper Magazine Stadium in Pennsylvania. So the Bluefish, in terms of the standings, their record now goes to 13-7.
And that means at the moment they're tied with the Somerset Patriots. And there's a ground ball right side and grabbed beautifully by the second baseman, Jose Garcia Reyes. And he throws out Sabatella, who is very speedy getting down the line. Great play by Jose Garcia Reyes, looking like the Mets or Toronto Blue Jays or now Kansas City Royals Jose Reyes during his younger day before his fielding has fallen apart. More to the point, Sabatella thrown out on a beautiful play by Jose.
Somerset has flashed the leather all night long.
They have a lot of web gems, a lot of asterisks on my scorecard next to a number of plays. Steve McQuail at the plate takes a strike right down Carlton Avenue. 0-1. McQuail walked in the second inning. Infield single in the 4th. Struck out in the 6th. He is 1 for 3. Batting from the right side, standing deep in the box. Ducks trailing by 5. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 8th. Next pitch. Wide, and the count now even at 1-1 to Steve McQuail. Made quite an impact on the Long Island Ducks, the native Long Islander, coming in and immediately mashing the ball out of the ballpark. Very quickly hitting 5 home runs. He has 7 RBIs, playing in just his 13th game as a Long Island Duck. Next pitch on the way is off speed and catches the outside corner for a strike. 1-2 to Steve.
Final in Camden, the Sugarland Skeeters defeat the River Sharks 3-2 at Campbell's Field.
1-2 pitch to McQuail, a swing and a miss. Good fastball, so McQuail goes down swinging, and there are 2 down, nobody on.
At Regency Furniture Stadium in Southern Maryland, the Blue Crabs take care of business against the York Revolution as well, 5-3. So York with the loss goes to 11-9, and Lancaster with the win goes to 13-7. So right now, the Barnstormers pick up a game on the York Revolution. They lead by 2 now in the Freedom Division.
Dan Curry at the plate, catcher for the Ducks, who is 0 for 2 with a walk, and he takes inside. 1 ball and no strikes to Curry. It's still fairly early in the second half, but those games can get away from you if you fall too far behind. Curry fists one foul out of play to the right side, and the count even. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. In the Atlantic League, 140 game schedule, 70 games for the first half. Then you reset the odometer to 0, 70 more in the second half. And we are just fraction of the way into the second half. And there's an off-speed pitch. Drops in low. It's 2 balls and a strike.
And it's even all the more important when you think about the fact that right now with Long Island, where they are in the second half division standings, all the games they've been playing this month have been against Bridgeport and Somerset, it seems like. So that's where the impact of all these games becomes more and more, evident every single game, where every game is so important.
And even though you got 50 games left in the second half, the fact you have this 4-game series against Bridgeport, which has gotten out to a big start, I mean, the fortunes of both of these teams can make a major turn in this 4-game series.
Exactly. So it really is. It's not a make or break series. I definitely wouldn't say that, but it is definitely a series that sets up both teams, depending on what they do, for the rest of the second half.
Yeah,
it puts them in a position to be in the driver's seat or to bring things back much closer.
2-2 pitch, fastball with good pop it outside to Curry. So count now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And you look at the Ducks, who are below sea level here, coming into the game at 8 up and 11 down. If they lose this game, they're 4 games below 500. But a sweep of the Bluefish, and they're right back into the thick of things, back at 500. Curry hits it in the air down the right field line. Going back is David Fidel, the first baseman, and makes the catch in foul territory over his shoulder. Almost like a football receiver going down for a down and out down the right field line. So play by Vidal. Another good play defensively by the Somerset Patriots. The Ducks go quietly in the 8th. 3 down, nothing across. We go to the top of the 9th at Bethpage Ballpark. Score remains Somerset 7, the Ducks 2.
Hey fans, this is relief pitcher Bruce Kern, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Start by attending a free MCU home buying seminar. Then speak with one of our loan specialists who will guide you through the loan process. With an affordable mortgage from Municipal Credit Union, Home Sweet Home will be a little sweeter. Call 212-238-3521 or visit nymcu.org to apply for your mortgage today. Municipal Credit Union. Strong, trusted, growing. Municipal Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender.
Enjoy the ultimate VIP fan experience at Bethpage Ballpark this season by taking in a Ducks game from the brand new Trout Town Fan Can. Presented by Roscoe Beer Company, the Fan Can is available for rental at all Ducks home games. It features 12 Dream Seat theater-style padded seats, beverage holders, an air-conditioned atmosphere, and an incredible view of the game. Packages are now available with food and beverage included. To reserve your Fan Can outing today, call the Ducks Group Sales Department at 631-940-3825. The Trout Town Fan Can at Bethpage Ballpark. Your VIP experience has arrived.
Baseball fans, the Long Island Ducks mobile app, powered by Clear Vision Apps, has officially arrived. Buy tickets and stay up to date on Long Island's hometown team right on your mobile device. Download the app today for free by visiting the App Store on your Apple-powered device or Google Play on your Android-powered device.
Yes, I'm old enough to know that app once just meant appetizer. That's the only thing it meant. Now it means something else, of course. But I could go for some appetizers right now, I'll tell you. Boy,
very true.
Ducks Club still open. I'm heading up there later. Jose Garcia Reyes at the plate. Mid-game substitution. Facing Billy Buckner. And another inning of work came in the 5th. Still pitching here in the 9th. 1-1 the count to Jose Garcia Reyes, who has struck out and flied out since coming into the game. As he takes right down the middle for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. I could recap what his entry into the game meant, both in terms of the batting order and especially defensively, but I just don't feel like that. I just don't feel like it. I have no interest in doing that whatsoever. 1-2, the count, and a call strike 3. Jose Garcia Reyes goes down on strikes. 10th strikeout for Ducks pitching here tonight. And that is the 5th strikeout for Billy Buckner, who has acquitted himself well. He entered the game in the 5th. Among his first pitches, left the ballpark. David Vidal with a long home run to left. But since that time, he's not given up much, just 1 single. That's the only other base runner he has allowed.
Yeah, he's really settled down and in such a weird position to come in.
And there's a line drive and not caught. Trapped. Gets by. Left fielder Brian Sabatella backed up by Delta Cleary Jr. The throw into second base not in time. Adam Donahue came into the game below 200, 9th in the order. Catcher for the Somerset Patriots. He now is 3 for 4. He's driven in 2 runs. He's scored 2 runs. What a night for the number 9 man for the Somerset Patriots, catcher Adam Donahue.
Came in at 192 on the season with 21 runs batted in and 13 runs, and has really just had himself a night. That is for sure. 2 doubles, a single. Big offensive night for the Somerset backstop.
Shows you that anybody can get hot at any time. Back to the top of the order, Thomas Neal, who is 2 for 4, 2 run-scoring singles. So he has 2 RBIs in this game, also a run scored. 1-0 the count to Thomas Neal. Donahue at second base with his second double of the game, as Chris just mentioned. Takes a good-sized lead, leading by 5. Somerset not taking any unnecessary chances, but they wouldn't mind tacking on another run or 2 just to be safe. Basically, one team in the league in terms of team batting average, Long Island Ducks, came in hitting .280, far and away the highest team average in the league. 1-1 the count, 1 down, 1 on. Coming set, Billy Buckner, pitch on the way, a little bit high. And the count now 2-1 to leadoff man, the DH, Thomas Neal. Not something you see all that often. A DH as a leadoff man.
Very true. Usually somewhere between 3 to maybe 5 in the order, maybe 6.
That's right. It's usually somebody who's very hitterish that you could plug right into the middle of a lineup, but not usually at the top of a lineup.
It'll be 9 and then the top of the order for the Ducks. And the bottom of the 9th, Davis Lentini Lions.
They get the hot bat of Phelan Lentini. He gets another swing at it in the bottom of the 9th. Neal at the plate. Pitch from Billy Buckner, fouled back to the netting. And the count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 down, 1 on. Top of the 9th, Somerset with a seemingly comfortable lead right now at 7-2.
With a win, Somerset would pull even in the season series, 8 games apiece between the 2 clubs.
And in terms of standings, they would leapfrog over the Bridgeport Bluefish, who lost tonight, and Somerset would go right back to a spot they have been accustomed to being in throughout this season. First place. 2-2 pitch, and that one is hit toward center field, coming in very hard and dropping in front of Delta Cleary Jr. in center for a base hit. Adam Donahue, the catcher, without a whole lot of speed, had to hold up anyway to see if Delta had a chance at catching it. So Donahue stops at third base. And for Thomas Neal, his 3rd single of the game. Runners at the corners, 1 down for Somerset.
3 singles, 2 RBIs, and a stolen and a run for Thomas Neal in the game.
Very productive DH at the top of the order for Somerset.
And 2 great nights from the 9 and 1 hitters in the lineup for Somerset.
Vinny Zarillo coming to the plate. Left-handed swinging Zarillo is 1 for 4 here tonight. He had a bunt single and drove in a run with that bunt single way back in the 3rd inning. 3-run 3rd for Somerset, erasing an early 1-0 lead for the Ducks. 3 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th, 1 more in the 5th. And there you have your 7 runs for the Patriots, who lead it 7-2. Count is 0-1 to Zerillo at the plate. Again, runners at the corners. Curveball went around the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike to Zerillo. Somerset looking to add to this 5-run lead. Only 1 down with Donahue, who led off with a double. He's at third base. Loop single hit by Thomas Neal. He's at first and being held on by Randy Ruiz. Infield playing at normal depth. 1-1 pitch. Strike outside corner. Double play depth and not really shading Zerillo around anywhere, just playing straight up. Outfield playing Zerillo hit the other way just a bit. 1-2 the count to Zerillo. As Billy Buckner, Ducks right-hander, tries to wriggle out of this one. Pitch on the way, and there's a golf swing and a miss, and Zerillo goes down on strikes. The 11th strikeout for Ducks pitching here tonight. 6th strikeout for Billy Buckner.
Second of this inning for number 29, who will now have to face David Vidal again.
David Vidal, who rudely greeted Billy Buckner when he entered the game in the top of the 5th with a home run over the King Cullen sign, left field wall. And that was the blow that made it 7 runs up on the board for Somerset. Otherwise, Vidal has walked into a double play and flied out. So he's 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored and that home run. First pitch hits the outside corner with a fastball. 0-1 to Vidal, the ever dangerous Michael Burgess waiting on deck, and Burgess is due. He's 0 for 4. And he wouldn't mind coming up with a chance to get off the schneid and onto the scorecard with the safety. 0-1 pitch on the way to Vidal, and he strokes one in the air, high, right field. Phelan Lentini coming on in, now settles under it and makes the catch. So, Billy Buckner and the Long Island Ducks get out of a jam of runners on the corners and only 1 down. A strikeout, a fly out, and for the Somerset Patriots, no runs, 2 hits, 2 left. At the end of 8 1/2, we go to the bottom of the 9th. Do the Ducks have another memorable comeback in store? We'll find out. Somerset leading 7-2.
Hey fans, this is pitcher Ian Marshall, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
James Simmons is going back. He is looking up, and on Bark in the Park night, that one is gone and reaches a kennel in Central Islip.
That was another home run for the Ducks. And Duck fans, what's more fun than a home run that helps the Ducks win a game? How about a homer that helps the community win? Chappie's Funeral Home and the Long Island Ducks have once again teamed up for the Chappie's Home Run Challenge. If the Ducks hit 100 homers this season, Chappie's Funeral Home will donate $5,000 to the Quackerjack Foundation. So every time a Ducks hitter goes deep this season, watch for the Chappie's Challenge home run count on the scoreboard. And if we reach 100, we're all a winner. Chappie's Funeral Home, where caring for others is a family tradition.
Can't get enough of the Long Island Ducks? Well, now you can get even more inside info on your favorite hometown team through Facebook and Twitter. The Ducks are constantly updating fans through social media with scores, transactions, ballpark promotions, and much more. You can even win great prizes. All you'll need to do is make a free account on Facebook and Twitter, and then visit us at facebook.com/LIDucks and twitter.com/LIDucks. Think you're Long Island's biggest Ducks fan? Get connected now.
To the bottom of the 9th we go. Central Islip, Chris Buckley and David Weiss here with you at Bethpage Ballpark. The Long Island Ducks trail the Somerset Patriots 7-2 right now. And fans, we do want to remind you that there are 3 ways to get your Ducks tickets here at the Bethpage Ballpark box office. You can go online at liducks.com or via the Ducks mobile app, or you can call over the phone, 631-940-TIXX. That's 631-940-8499. And again, we will wrap this one up here this evening, the 3rd and final game of the 3-game set between the Ducks and Pats, and then start a 4-game swing against the Bridgeport Bluefish Friday through Monday. And Friday, tomorrow, will be Ducks Cooler Bags night for the first 1,500 fans in attendance. 6:35 first pitch for Friday and Saturday. Sunday will be a 5:05 first pitch. And then Monday, Camp Day matinee, 11:05 a.m. start time between the Ducks and Fish.
There's nothing I would like better to be 10 years old again. Come to the Ducks Camp Day matinee at 11 o'clock a.m., bring my quacker and lead a chorus of 99 bottles of milk on the wall or something in the stands. Not old enough for beer when you're 10, so you do milk.
Wake up and go right to the ballpark. How about that?
Yep. I mean, that works out well for everybody. New pitcher for the Somerset Patriots. The 5th pitcher used by skipper Brett Jody to close it out here in the 9th. And no, it's not a safe situation with a 5-run lead. The Ducks would love to make it a safe situation if they put a rally together. Left-hander Evan DeLuca from White House Station, New Jersey, a side-winding 6'1" lefty, making his 4th appearance, all in relief. 3 innings pitched for Somerset this season. He has not allowed a run, an ERA of nothing. He has struck out 4, walked none in limited action, making his 4th appearance, as we said, for the Somerset Patriots, looking to close it out against the Ducks and take 2 out of 3 in this 3-game series here in Central Islip. And DeLuca will be facing the number 9 man in the order, Blake Davis, to be followed by Phelan Lentini, back to the leadoff man, and then Dan Lyons. Those 3 at the very least to face Evan DeLuca here in inning number 9. The Ducks trailing by 5. Blake Davis at the plate. 0 for 3, sent it to a double play, has flied out to deep left field. An incredible play made by Michael Burgess in left to retire Davis at that point. So Davis officially 0 for 2 rather than 0 for 3. He walked in the 6th inning and takes a fastball outside. 1-0. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Davis just looking to get on. Ducks need base runners, trailing by 5. 1-0 pitch on the way, and that splits the plate in half for a strike. 1-1.
It's incredible just to look at the scorecard and see in the 4th inning the 7, because Michael Burgess made that catch, and Blake Davis should have been standing at second with another 2-run double, his 2nd straight in 2 days, but unfortunately not for Long Island.
See, I score a different way. I just don't put 7. I put fly 7. I put D to mean deep. Everybody scores a different way.
Very descriptive. I like the simple. I'm very simple. I like to. I try not to confuse myself. I'll put an L if it's notably hard hit baseball, but otherwise it's just a 7. I mean, he hit that hard, I guess, so I probably should have put an L next to it.
And there's a big swing and a miss.
There we go.
Almost coming out of his spikes is Blake Davis. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes, but it is a rite of passage, whether you learn it from your dad or from someone else. I mean, everybody scores differently.
Yep.
I do it with lines instead of putting 1B for a single.
Yep, I do lines.
Yeah, lines. You got it too. 1 a single, double, 4 lines for a homer. 2-2 pitch is way outside. So we're now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, that's the lost art of scoring a baseball game. Many people, will come to a game now and not know how to score it.
Right.
I was talking to my father-in-law the other day, who's a big bowler, and I said, I grew up when you scored it yourself on a score sheet before the computerized scoring.
Right.
That's why a lot of kids today don't know how to add or how to cheat. I used to put down spares and strikes, little eraser action. Not proud of it, but that's what I did. Blake Davis goes down on a strike. No, he walked. See, I'm not paying attention. Bottom of the 9th, I'm talking to you about bowling. And meanwhile, Blake Davis works his way aboard on a walk. And by the way, another Municipal Credit Union walk with a purpose. Every time a Ducks batter walks, the Quackerjack Foundation wins as the 2nd walk for Blake Davis here tonight.
In a row, and it's been an interesting night for Blake at the plate. The 4-6-3 double play in the 2nd. Then the dramatic catch from Burgess in the 4th, and now 2 straight walks. So at least he got on twice.
And that's what the Ducks need more than anything else, base runners. Phelan Lentini is 2 for 4 here tonight. And the throw across to keep Blake Davis close with a 5-run lead. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Blake is not looking to steal here. Lentini, meanwhile, doubled leading off the bottom of the 1st. 1 hop off the wall to left field. Came around to score on a ground out by Delta Cleary Jr. That was the Ducks' first run and an early 1-0 lead. He has since flied out, singled, and struck out. And he takes one downstairs. There's now 1 ball and no strikes. Lentini try to be as selective as possible here. Despite his power, despite his 2 hits, the Ducks wouldn't mind if Evan DeLuca walked the ballpark. Coming set, looking at the runner, the 1-0 pitch outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Long way to go before Somerset starts feeling as if they're in a little bit of trouble. But right now, with a walk surrender to Blake Davis and DeLuca falling behind Lentini 2-0, skipper Brett Jody is already biting his fingernails.
I would have to assume so. I mean, they've played the Ducks many times this year, and the Ducks both of these teams have given each other trouble, really. And I would say neither team is ever out of a game, no matter the situation, and even more so the Ducks, just based on, I mean, obviously we see them more, but they have shown time and time again, every single game, no matter what the situation is, that it's truly never over.
Nope.
It is never, ever over.
And they're not going to give up, lead the league in tenacity. 2-1 pitch on the way, and that is smashed down the right field line. Kind of a hack by Lentini. That ball was up like shoulder level.
Inside out of it.
Yeah, he did.
That was like the old Derek Jeter swing, but upstairs.
Yes. It was incredible that he got that much out of it and fouled it down the right field line. So the count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lentini will be selected here, but he's got to guard the plate. Ducks have to be as judicious as possible here to save their outs to try to build a rally. 2-2 the count. Blake Davis takes a short lead off first base. Pitch on the way from DeLuca, well inside. Nice stab by catcher Adam Donahue, saving a wild pitch. So Davis has to hold on at first base, but the count is full to Phelan Lentini. Dan Lyons waiting on deck, and then Delta Cleary Jr. to follow. You get that far, Randy Ruiz and the big home run bat sitting in the cleanup spot, but we've got a ways to go. Ducks trying to build something here after setting a foundation with a leadoff walk. 3-2 the count. Pitch on the way to Lentini. There's a ground ball left side, taken on a couple of hops by Greg Hopkins over to second for the force, and that's all they will get. So a force play at second base that goes 5-4. And it's Phelan Lentini replacing Blake Davis at first base, 1 down.
Well, you knew as soon as that ball came off the bat of Phelan Lentini, there was no way Somerset was going to get him at first unless they threw directly to first base. So Greg Hopkins actually makes the smart decision, get the lead runner out at second, take the 1 out, and put Lentini at first base rather than have Davis at second with 1 away. And you risk bringing a run home on a hit with Dan Lyons at the plate. So smart play by Hopkins and the Somerset infield.
Lyons at the plate, takes a fastball up and away, 1-0. Dan is due. Came into the game number 6 in hitting in the Atlantic League at just under 300 at 299. He has slipped since. He is 0 for 4. He has flied out 3 times, also hit into a fielder's choice. Coming set to Luca, the 1-0 pitch on the way, again high and away with a fastball, 2 balls and no strikes. So DeLuca walking the leadoff man, fell behind on Lentini, but came back to get Lentini to hit into a fielder's choice. Vaillant is at first base, taking a slightly larger lead than Blake Davis previously did. And the count 2-0 to Lyons, who might be taken all the way here. Got the bat on his shoulder. He is not swinging and looks at a strike on the inside corner on a fastball, 2-1.
Lyons with 42 RBIs on the season, so 14 shy of tying his Ducks career high. So in a Ducks uniform, his career high 56 RBIs back in 2012. Currently 14 off of that number.
Count 2-1 with a man on, 1 out. Pitch to Lyons, a squibber foul behind the plate. And the count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Blake Davis with the leadoff walk, replaced by Phelan Lentini at first base when Lentini hit into a fielder's choice. So they have 1 out, 1 on. Ducks trail by 5. Bottom of the 9th here at Bethpage Ballpark in a game that started just over an hour late because of the storms that moved across Long Island and across the entire Northeast for that matter. It's quite a downpour for a short time. Bolts of lightning in the sky. The field in great shape, and that feels like a few days ago at this point. Count 2-2 to Dan Lyons. And the pitch is on the way, and then a stroke down the left field line, but foul. Dan was all over that, but out in front. Guessing fastball, got it. Sweet part of the bat, but hit the facade that up against the stands. So just a hard foul down the left field line, and the count remains 2-2.
Delta Cleary Jr. on deck for the Ducks, as long as Lyons doesn't ground into a double play here.
Let's see if Chris put the whammy on it. 2-2. Hopefully not. And there's another little tapper foul behind the plate.
Did not mean to jinx it at all.
No, and we know that Dan can handle the bat as well as anyone.
And has speed, so very easily could beat it out, regardless.
Ducks just want to get as many base runners as possible and save those outs. There is 1 out now. A man on. As Evan DeLuca comes set, looks right at Lentini, the left-hander. Pitching to Lyons inside, and the count full again. So DeLuca not exercising pinpoint control since he entered. And we'll see what Dan does here. He has a great eye at the plate. So Lyons can work his way on. The Ducks wouldn't mind that at all. 3-2 count. Payoff pitch is now on the way to Dan Lyons, and it's high and tight. Ball 4, Dan's aboard. First time Dan Lyons has reached base here tonight. So with that leadoff walk to Blake Davis, Phelan Lentini with the fielder's choice, replacing Davis at first. Lyons now aboard. Lentini moves up to second base. 2 on, 1 out. Delta Cleary Jr. coming up, and a trip to the mound and a meeting on the mound. And another Municipal Credit Union walk with a purpose to Dan Lyons. Every time a Ducks batter walks, the Quacker Jack Foundation wins.
Looks like pitching coach Corey Dommel out there making the visit to DeLuca. So Delta Cleary Jr. RBI in the first on the ground out. Then went 2 straight at bats without reaching base, and then the double and runs scored in the 7th. He was the second Duck to score tonight.
And the last time Delta Cleary was up, Jr. just hit a golf shot down the left field line. Delta Cleary Jr., of course, a switch hitter. And batting from the left side, just kind of hit a wedge, 9-iron down the left field line with that double and scoring on a couple of wild pitches. So 2 on, just 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Ducks trying to stir a little excitement here as Delta Cleary Jr. takes a ball down low, 1-0. I think the pitching coach came out and just said basically 2 words to Evan DeLuca: throw strikes. That's all he needs to do here with the 5-run lead. Coming set, Evan DeLuca. Lentini leads off second, Lyons off first. And the 1-0 on the way to Delta Cleary Jr. hits the outside corner, just nipping it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ducks with a total of 8 hits in the game. And plenty of men left on base. We'll total it up for you, but they've had their opportunities to cut into this big lead for Somerset. Just haven't been able to get that big hit with men on base. See what happens here. Trailing 7-2, 2 on. Pitch to Delta Cleary Jr., and there's a check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Delta began the year with Harrisburg, AA level affiliate of the Washington Nationals, but was with the Colorado Rockies organization for the previous 7 years before that. The Rockies just gave away one of their longtime well-known players, of course, and Troy Tulowitzki, who's had an immediate impact in Toronto. Blue Jays going right for the AL East Division title.
1-2 pitch on the way to Delta Cleary Jr., high and tight. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And did I hear right? I mean, I was just paying attention, sort of, to the transactions today. David Price is a Blue Jay now as well?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, they're making a major move.
Those are 2 big-time moves right there.
I think the Blue Jays feel they have such offense. Get that stud pitcher and give it a shot. There's still plenty of time left. They're at about 500. And the Yankees could easily fall apart at any second. 2-2 pitch on the way to Delta Cleary Jr. Swing and a miss. It was a fastball tailing away. Foul tip back into the glove of Adam Donahue. Delta Cleary Jr., a swinging strikeout and a big out for Evan DeLuca and the Somerset Patriots. 2 down, still 2 on. Big Randy Ruiz comes to the plate.
That was definitely the key out that DeLuca needed with Ruiz coming up to the plate. You make sure the bases aren't loaded, so even a home run here still puts you up by 2 runs.
And Randy, early in this at-bat, may be swinging for the fences. Why not? He is 1 for 4 tonight. Had a single in the first, has flied out, lined out, and struck out. Batting from the right side. Fastball takes it outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Evan DeLuca has walked 2 in this inning, but has also struck out 1 and gotten Phelan Lentini in a fielder's choice. So total that all up, you got 2 on, 2 out. Ducks down to their final out, trailing 7-2. 1-0 pitch on the way to Ruiz is way outside with an off-speed pitch. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Cody Puckett is waiting on deck. And we'll see To use the terminology all of us used when we were growing up playing baseball, can they save Cody a lick? It's up to Randy here at the plate. Coming set, the lefty, Evan DeLuca. And the 2-0 pitch on the way to Randy Ruiz, and that is stroke. One hop goes past Jose Garcia Reyes into right field. Coming in to score is Phelan Lantini. Heading over to third is Dan Lyons. It is a run-scoring single for Randy Ruiz. Ducks are not dead yet. Trailing 7-3, 2 out.
And Carlos Hughes comes in to pinch run for Randy. And now Brett Jody going to come out. And it looks like Evan DeLuca might be done here with runners on the corners as he takes a look over to the bullpen. I think someone else is going to be coming in. Let's just make sure he grabs the ball. There it is. DeLuca hands the ball over to Jody. And his day's done. Gets 2/3 of the way through the 9th. And we'll see who's going to come in. We'll step out, come back, and tell you more about the pitching change. Again, 2 outs in the 9th. Ducks trailing 7-3. Can they pull off the comeback?
Hey fans, this is Marty Jansen, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital in Bayshore is the healthcare heart of our community. We provide outstanding healthcare right here at home with centers of excellence in cardiology, orthopedics, neurosciences, women's health services, and much more. Experience counts, and North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital has been around for nearly a century of care. For more information, please call 631-968-3000 or visit us on the web at www.nslij.com.
The results are in. Thousands of PSEG Long Island customers participated in our energy efficiency programs, saving nearly $35 million. Being energy efficient helps our environment, too. Together, we've eliminated 21,000 cars worth of emissions in 2014. Thank you, Long Island. We're all making a difference. Discover how we're improving every day to bring you better service at www.pseglyny.com/efficiency.
Back here at Bethpage Ballpark, Chris Buckley and David Weiss. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Long Island Ducks trail the Somerset Patriots 7-3, and Brett Jody goes to his bullpen. It's closer John Hunton, the tall right-hander, coming in to try to wrap up the win for the Somerset Patriots.
John Hunton making his 35th appearance of the season, all in relief. 33 2/3 innings pitched, so not quite an inning per appearance. In those 33 2/3, 26 hits given up, just 9 runs. ERA of 2.41. He has struck out 24, walked only 4. This guy throws strikes and has 24 saves on the season. That is second in the league. Second only to the Ducks' Ryan Kushmal with 25 saves. So Cody Puckett at the plate, and the Ducks have at least made Somerset nervous enough that skipper Brett Jody has to bring in his closer. The tying run is in the on-deck circle. With 1 stroke, Cody Puckett can make this a 1-run game. The Ducks, 3 runs, 9 hits. For the Somerset Patriots, 7 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error. So it's the right-hander, John Hunton, on the mound with runners on the corners and 2 down. Cody Puckett at the plate, and Puckett takes a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. A leadoff walk to Blake Davis. Phelan Lantini replaces Davis on the base pass, hitting into a fielder's choice. Dan Lyons walks. Delta Cleary Jr. strikes out. 2 on, 2 out, and a run-scoring single by Randy Ruiz. He is replaced at first base by pinch runner Carlos Hughes. And there's a ground ball left side. It is taken by the third baseman Greg Hopkins. The throw across is just in time to nip Cody Puckett, and the game is over. The Ducks made it interesting. Fall to the Somerset Patriots. Duck fans feel after a game that was delayed just by rain in its start and it ends with a Cody Puckett ground out. The Ducks in the inning do score 1 run, 1 hit. There were a couple of walks and 2 men left. As we said, the Ducks got the tying run to the on-deck circle, but that's as good as they could do. Somerset just too much, too often tonight, and beat the Ducks 2 out of 3, finishing them off 7-3 tonight.
Well, again, you just said it. You really put it in perspective right there. Coming off the sweep in Bridgeport, you came home. You knew it was going to be a tough series against the Somerset Patriots, but it was 3 games instead of 4, so you know it's going to be a tough opponent. You figure if you get the series win, take 2 of 3, that's a solid conclusion to the series. Unfortunately for the Ducks, they dropped 2 of 3 instead, and they come from behind in the game yesterday, the middle contest, to get that win. And unfortunately just not able to use their pitching to their advantage tonight. It was a struggle. Darren Downs had trouble finding the strike zone, which was something that we touched on before the start. Billy Buckner actually did a nice job coming in place of Darren Downs, settled down after that solo homer from David Vidal. But other than that, the offense continues to struggle. Again, the one bright spot, I guess you could say, Randy Ruiz with the RBI single, and even that was a ball that hit the dirt on the infield and skipped over the glove of Jose Garcia Reyes in the right field. The other 2 runs coming on a wild pitch and the initial run on an RBI ground out. So in terms of actually getting hits in the gaps and hits, to all parts of the field, spraying the spray chart, things like that, Long Island right now over the last couple games has struggled to do that successfully on a nightly basis, and I think that's part of the reason why they continue to be under 500 in the second half of play.
Yeah, despite the problems that was shown in the pitching department for the Ducks, giving up 7 runs to Somerset, they had their chances, most notably in the 4th inning, where they had 2 on, 1 out, 6th inning, 2 on, nobody out, and bases loaded, 2 out. And in those 2 innings combined, 5 runners left on base. They were not able to push any runs across. What they were able to do in the first half of the season, come up with a big hit, score runs in bunches. It's been more of a struggle with some of their leading hitters drawn away by other organizations. The Ducks have been cherry-picked due to their success, and now trying to find different ways to scratch out victories. It was just not to be tonight.
It wasn't, and it was a nice job. Again, the spot start from Seidel, getting that spot start for Somerset. He looked decent, and Long Island just, they get on the board first, which is something that they have not been doing as of late, getting a run in the first inning. Actually, it's been the other way around, where Long Island's pitching staff has been giving up runs in the first inning, which was not the case tonight. We thought Darren Downs looked pretty good through the first 2 frames. Unfortunately, was not able to keep that together. 3 runs in the 3rd for Somerset, 3 more in the 4th as well. The David Vidal solo homer in the 5th, and that was all the offense they really need. So Somerset, they leapfrog Bridgeport, go into first place in the Liberty Division, and because Bridgeport lost tonight, that's how things are shaping up in the standings. So I guess we'll just step out, come back, and talk a bit more about this one from Bethpage Ballpark.
Hey fans, this is Bud Harrelson, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 103.9 LI News Radio.
Spring into a new Honda at Huntington Honda and pay $59 a month for a new 2015 Honda Civic LX sedan. $59. So spring into Huntington Honda on Jericho Turnpike just east of Route 110 or HuntingtonHondaCars.com.
Huntington Honda, discover the difference.
Auto 24-month lease, total due at inception. Civic $31.90 includes bank fee, first month's payment, no security deposit. Taxes, DMV, title fees extra with excellent credit through HFS.
Family fun every time.
Beautiful evening for baseball.
Big action every time.
He reaches up, it's gone!
Great value every time.
And the Ducks have won it 7-1.
The Ducks schedule is loaded with new promotions this season, and with an average ticket price of just $10 and free parking, there is no better value on Long Island. For game times and tickets, visit liducks.com. Long Island Ducks Baseball. Good times every time.
Welcome back one more time from Bethpage Ballpark. Your Long Island Ducks, unfortunately, falling to the Somerset Patriots this evening. 7-3 is the final. First pitch was at 7:41 p.m., a 3-hour and 12-minute contest between the now first-place Somerset Patriots once again. They win the first half and are now in first place once again in the Liberty Division. 75 degrees at first pitch. A bit cooler now, I'd say. But altogether, an hour and 6-minute rain delay because of those torrential downpours that came through the region in Nassau and Suffolk County. We'll take one more look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Again, the Bridgeport Bluefish, because of their loss to Lancaster at Clipper Magazine Stadium, 4-3 the final there. The Fish will drop to second place, and the Somerset Patriots leapfrog the Fish and go into first place overall. Campbell's Field, the Camden River Sharks fall to the Sugarland Skeeters 3-2. Regency Furniture Stadium, Southern Maryland Blue Crabs take care of the York Revolution, 3-hour and 2-minute affair there, 5-3 is the final. So once again, the Long Island Ducks fall to 8-12 in the second half of play in 2015, 54-36 overall. Somerset goes to 14-7 in the second half, 64-27. So David, before we wrap things up here, your final thoughts on the 4-run loss here between the Ducks and Pats, the 7-3 final.
Yeah, it's a cliche, Chris, but you can't win them all. And against the Somerset Patriots, you're lucky to win any of them. These two teams have battled tooth and nail back and forth, dating back to 2000 when the Ducks were born, the night of April 28th. 2000. It's always been a great rivalry between these two. You don't usually get, as you mentioned during the broadcast, a lopsided game between these two. They're so evenly matched. Somerset's done it mostly with pitching this year. The Ducks have had great pitching and have had outstanding hitting. But after an early 1-0 lead, a couple of 3-run innings, and you had the Somerset Patriots launching out to a 7-1 lead. They hang on for a 7-3 win. They take 2 out of 3 here. They're back in first place. You would think Somerset would get bored with first place. They're always up there. All right already. It's nauseating.
Hard to get bored of winning, I guess.
You can't, because they are just such a fantastic organization. The Ducks and Patriots, the two most successful franchises in the history of the Atlantic League, and we're seeing that again this year. So Somerset leaves town. Who comes in? The Bridgeport Bluefish, who very surprisingly got out of the gate very quickly after a very rough first half, where they were basically losing 2 out of every 3. And what happens? They win 13 of their first 19. They lose tonight. They're back they're in second place now, half game out to Somerset. But a very big series, Ducks against the Bluefish. If you have a chance, they come out either tomorrow night, Saturday night, late Sunday afternoon, or that Camp Day special on Monday, where it's not just the kids. You got moms and dads are going to be here as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. But any one of those 4 games will be something special, with the cross-sound rivals, the Bridgeport Bluefish, coming to town.
Well, that'll do it for us here from Bethpage Ballpark. Once again, the Long Island Ducks fall to the Somerset Patriots this evening, 7-3, 3 hours and 12 minutes, 4,911 fans in attendance here at the Duck Pond. As David just said, 4-game series coming up between the Ducks and Bluefish. Game 1 tomorrow of the 4-game swing, Friday, July 31st against the Fish. Ducks Cooler Bag Night, first 1,500 fans in attendance. First pitch at 6:35 p.m. Big thanks to our engineer this evening in our LI News studios, Jerry Gross. Thanks a lot to him for pushing all the right buttons behind the board there. For David Weiss, I'm Chris Buckley saying so long from the Duck Pond. Please enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening, and good night from Central Iceland.